It's Friday, August 21st.
Are you able to say anything about negotiations, Ambassador?
I am not.
Nearing a deal. Canadian officials are tight-lipped on details, but also say they're very close to making a deal to avoid punishing 50% tariffs. Why healthcare workers in Regina were walking the picket line Thursday.
Tries to step up and take off, wanted to dump it off, and now just calls his own number and Trey Ford doing Trey Ford things. You get him running.
Riders defense regrouping as they ready to face the mighty BC Lions. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Kayleen. Good morning. Happy Friday.
Big day. Happy Friday in your household.
Yeah, happy Friday to my mom. It's her birthday.
It's her birthday. Happy birthday, Mickey. I know you're probably watching out somewhere in Alberta.
Yeah.
Big day in the Weather Center.
A whole lot of sunshine on the way. It's really going to be a beautiful weekend. And if you're heading to watch the game anywhere tomorrow, well, it's going to be a beautiful day.
No, that works. That works. 6:01. Let's get to news. We're talking about that trade deal we mentioned off the top. Canada and the U.S. closing in on a trade deal ahead of a new midnight tariff deadline.
Expect us to get a deal that's in the economic interest of Canada and Canadian workers. We're very close. We continue to make progress.
That's Canada-U.S. Trade Minister Dominic LeBlanc. He was in a 3-hour meeting with his American counterparts Thursday, the longest the two sides have met during these negotiations. Canada's trade team were joined by Canada's ambassador to the U.S. and the Prime Minister's chief of staff. 3 sources told CTV News there are reductions in Section 232 tariffs on the table as part of a potential agreement, but it's not clear how far they'd go down. Those would affect industries like steel, aluminum, and cars. Canadian officials haven't said if the deal is final. However, the American side has been boasting they're emerging with the upper hand.
Shifted in a Trumpian direction.
This is audio obtained by the Canadian press. U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance reportedly told a crowd at a New York fundraiser Wednesday that Prime Minister Mark Carney tried to out-tough Trump. He's also heard saying it's hilarious because Carney presents this as some victory for Canada when fundamentally, like, they climb down on a lot of issues, end quote. Vance also reportedly takes aim at Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre, calling him a non-entity in negotiations. Another critical voice is Manitoba's Premier Wab Kinew.
To Canadians is leave it there. If we put the booze back on the shelves, don't buy it. Let it sit on the shelf where the Liquor Mart employees will be putting it and buy the Canadian stuff instead.
That's Wab Kinew. Following those meetings, Newfoundland and Labrador Premier Tony Wacom says all premiers agreed to the request by the Prime Minister to restock American alcohol. It seems the vast majority of Canadians plan to follow Kinew's lead. CUPE healthcare workers lined up at the front of the Pasqua Hospital Thursday in Regina, still without a contract.
No! Fair wages! No!
The union says they have CCAs walking across hospitals and long-term care facilities with wages $4 below any province in Canada. Members of CUPE 5430 say they have not had a raise since April 1st of 2022.
Our members have been patient. We've gone through the cost of living crisis during COVID. People used to call healthcare workers heroes. Once that was done, we were tossed out by both the employer and this government. They continue to tell us that we should be patient, and we have been extremely patient. But our patience is run. We have now into a wall. We cannot. We need an immediate conclusion to this round of bargaining. If it is not, we will take the next step, which is a job action.
The union says if a deal is not reached soon, it plans to hold a strike vote from September 8th to 14th. The remains of a man buried outside a Regina home have now been identified. With the help of RCMP and the Saskatchewan Coroner Service, Regina police identified the man as Wayne Joseph Breed. The discovered remains were reported to police on June 9th. Police say they have been there for a minimum of 5 years. Breed would have been 34. A Saskatchewan man's leg had to be amputated after it was caught in a grain conveyor. The Crono Fire Department confirming the incident happened in the RM of Lajord on Wednesday in the afternoon when firefighters were dispatched to the Lajord Inland Terminal. Stars Air Ambulance was called to the scene and took the man to hospital. Lajord is southeast of Regina. A 63-year-old man from Prince Albert area has died following a crash in a construction zone. RCMP say at about 3 o'clock in the morning, a minivan traveling along Highway 12 hit a safety barrier on a bridge before slamming into a heavy equipment vehicle. The driver and only person in the minivan was declared dead on scene. Highway 12 was closed for several hours while emergency crews were there. As of Thursday, 74 people have now died in crashes, 61 of them on Saskatchewan highways this year. Prince Albert police are investigating a serious assault that took place on Tuesday. Officers called to an alley in the 1400 block between 14th and 15th Street West just a little before midnight Tuesday for reports of an injured person. Police say a 42-year-old man suffering from several serious injuries taken to hospital and is still there. Anyone who is in the scene knows anything, call police or Crime Stoppers. RCMP are looking for a woman charged with manslaughter in the death of a man in Sandy Bay who might be in the Prince Albert area. On Saturday morning, just after 4:30, officers were called to a home in the Sandy Bay area for an injured man. They arrived to find a 19-year-old Silvino Grenier dead. Now, RCMP have issued an arrest warrant for 23-year-old Chastity Charlotte Rose Clark. In addition to Prince Albert, she also has connections to Pelican Narrows, Sandy Bay, and South End. Anyone who knows where she might be, don't approach her, call police or Crime Stoppers. One person is dead after a small plane was forced to make an emergency landing on a busy BC roadway.
Vehicle occupants, as well as those on the plane, were attended to by emergency health services, though any injuries are unknown currently by us.
This happened Thursday afternoon in Prince George. The plane made its landing on Foothills Boulevard and ended up colliding with cars. The person who died was in one of those vehicles. 2 cars were damaged, but it's unclear how many others were injured. Transportation Safety Board now looking into the cause of the emergency landing. An Ottawa mom is sharing a concerning incident involving an Uber Eats driver leaving money and treats for her 12-year-old daughter.
Found another package that was addressed to her, and inside had candy, a $20 bill, and a note that said to her name from your secret admirer with a phone number on it. And we looked at our cameras and we saw that it was an older man.
So earlier this month, her daughter ordered Uber Eats during a sleepover in Canada with a friend. Now, the daughter opened an account using Mido, that's the kid's credit card thing, and ordered without her mom's knowledge. Now, the daughter and friend met the driver at the door. About an hour later, they discovered a brown paper bag with the daughter's name on it from a, quote, secret admirer. The bag had candy in it. The family installed security cameras right away. Almost 2 weeks later, they found another package addressed to her that had candy, money, and a phone number. The security video showed an older man, and the daughter identified him as the delivery driver. In a statement, a spokesperson for Uber Eats said, quote, this behavior is unacceptable and has no place on the Uber platform. Ottawa police are now investigating. Nathan Lukes came up big on both sides of the ball Thursday, propelling the Blue Jays to another series win.
Lucas hits a fly ball deep right field, and it is gone.
The Blue Jays beat the American League's top team, the Tampa Bay Rays, 5-1 yesterday. It's their first series win at Tropicana Field since 2023. With the win, the Jays are now just a half game back of the wild card spot, entering this weekend series against the New York Yankees in the Bronx. Let's get over to the Weather Center and talk to Kayleen Swatz. There was a lot of empty chairs in that stadium there on a beautiful day for baseball.
Well, today would be a beautiful day to get outside and watch any sport, get outside and do anything. It's always a great day to be waking up in Saskatchewan, but today especially, it is going to be a great day. We're starting to see the sun shine in the Queen City, 10 degrees. Winds coming in at 9 kilometers per hour. In Saskatoon, we're at 7 degrees. We are seeing a little bit of fog in the area. Don't worry, that's going to be clearing up rather quickly here. Winds coming in at 7 kilometers per hour. Now, what we are seeing, though, is up in northern Saskatchewan and northeast Saskatchewan, we're seeing those air quality statements currently in effect. So, again, if you're watching from the north today, pay attention to that air quality health index. If you are super susceptible to that smoke in the air, you might want to stay inside today and keep your windows and doors shut. Other than that smoke up north, though, we did see a little bit of some active weather late yesterday and into those overnight hours, even very early this morning. But we are starting to see that taper off. That is moving off into the United States. Into the afternoon, things are looking really clear today. Not even seeing a whole lot of cloud cover. It's just going to be a lot of sunshine into Saturday morning. Not really seeing a lot of active weather as well. We're looking west where we're watching that system over in British Columbia and Alberta, but Saskatchewan's looking very clear into Saturday afternoon and Saturday evening. Again, not seeing a whole lot. You do see that very small spot of green just north of Prince Albert. We're not really worried about that. Not going to be seeing a lot of rain until very early on Sunday morning. We see this system starting to develop overnight between Saturday to Sunday, starting to bring some of that rain in the early morning, and then it also does continue into the afternoon when we see another system coming up, tracking towards the west, and it is likely to be coming with some thunderstorm activity. So again, Sunday is that day where we're talking about the rain. Until then, a lot of beautiful temperatures on the way. 27 in Swift Current, 28 in Moose Jaw. When you're seeing those rain icons down in Weyburn and Estevan, that is that last little bit of the system that we were talking about overnight. The afternoon is going to be clear. 28 in Weyburn today, 27 in Estevan, 24 in Yorkton, 25 in Regina, 24 in Saskatoon, 24 in Prince Albert today, and 24 in the Battlefords. We're not just talking about nice temperatures today. We're also talking about really nice temperatures along with that weekend as well. 27 tomorrow, 30 degrees though on Sunday with those risk of thunderstorms. In Saskatoon, 28 degrees for your mainly sunny Saturday and 31 on Sunday.
Potentially pivotal moment in the fight against high-risk melanoma. A new mRNA vaccine combined with the immunotherapy drug Keytruda showing clinically meaningful improvements, keeping the cancer from coming back in a large-scale trial. Melanoma is a serious form of skin cancer that kills more than 8,000 people a year. Dr. Michael Postow at Memorial Sloan Kettering worked on the trial.
Other types of cancer vaccines in general have been approved, but this is the first personalized cancer vaccine that's shown a benefit in a phase 3 study so far.
Gary Keblish got the vaccine in 2019 after his difficult diagnosis.
Not very good. 75% chance, if I remember correctly, of the melanoma returning within a 5-year period of time.
Now with his wife and daughter, the public school teacher says he is cancer-free.
Happy and healthy.
Here's how it works. First, doctors surgically remove the melanoma tumor. The patient starts on Keytruda while the tumor and patient's blood are analyzed for their unique mutations to make a vaccine. The process takes about 6 weeks. Moderna and Merck, developers of the experimental treatment, saw their stock prices jump on the news. More specifics on the trial outcomes are expected later this year.
Health Report, brought to you in part by SEIU West, Saskatchewan's first healthcare union.
I don't know about you, but I am certainly counting down the days until the Owen sisters are back on the screen.
No magic is stronger than sisterhood. Cast by fate, tested by time, and never broken.
The second installment of Practical Magic is almost here. It's officially 3 weeks away. Sandra Bullock and Nicole Kidman are reprising their roles as Jillian and Sally Owens. Kidman also shared this photo of her on set with their black cat. Practical Magic 2 is out September 11th. Are you going to go see it?
I didn't see the first one, so I have to.
I
have to. I guess I got to go back and see that first. But my wife is very excited.
This is mind-blowing to me that you've never seen Practical Magic.
I do love Sandra Bullock.
Sandra Bullock and Nicole Kidman, I personally think this is some of their best work. I love Practical Magic. I'm so excited for this.
Just in time for Halloween.
This one came from you. Do you want to explain why?
Question of the day. Well, listen, we got big bands coming to the Queen City this weekend. Sugar Ray and Smash Mouth are in town. We just saw the Beaches. I was starting to think, what's an artist that would come back to town? You'd go see them each and every time they'd come to town. Garth Brooks has also relaunched his arena tour, and that's probably going to come to Canada at some point.
I have seen the Chicks many times.
Yes, you have.
Yeah, and they are one that I will go and I will see every single time.
Garth is one I would see every time, and I see Dallas Smith. I've seen him. I feel like I see him every 6 months, but I still go. It's great.
All right, so we want to hear from you. Who's that artist that you would pay to see every single time they come to town? Text your name and your answer to 10400. Standard message rates may apply, or scan that QR code on your screen.
Hey everyone, Jermaine Franklin inside the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Thursday. Let's head to everyone's favorite ballpark, the Trop. Jays raise Toronto up 4 in the 7th. Cedric Mullins tries to cut into that deficit with a drive to right, but whoa, what a leaping effort from Nathan Lucas. An incredible catch, and he nearly doubles off the runner at first. Shane Bieber loving the effort as well. The Trop is usually a house of horrors for the Jays, but they pulled off a rare series win this week and earned our must-see moment. And Week 12 in the CFL continues tonight as the Elks host the Bombers on Friday Night Football. Edmonton looking to become the first team to reach 8 wins in the West. Coverage begins at 9 Eastern on TSN 1 and 3. That's it from the Sports Center newsroom. Have a great day.
Mike Siona, I don't know if you know this, but Jeremy Dodge once said that if he had to do the Amazing Race, he would do it with you because you're good at adventures, and you're on to one this morning.
There's no doubt about that, and it's not me who's going on the adventure, but rather the blind adventurer Ron Walsh, who joins us here outside CTV Saskatoon this morning on what can only be described as a one-of-a-kind launch that we are having here. You're biking all the way to Waskesiu, and you're not sighted.
I'm completely blind. I don't see anything. I'm going to cycle from Saskatoon to PA first day, and second day on to Waskesiu, the Hollywood.
There you go. Well, your pilot just popped in here to make sure that you are, in fact, saying what you want. He waved his hand right in front of your face.
Okay.
Just full disclosure as to what's happening here.
Yeah, I don't see that.
But obviously there's a lot of trust between you and your pilot. Just talk about what an experience like this must be like. I mean, not your first time riding tandem.
I've ridden tandem a few times. This summer has basically had a little bit of a warm-up before this, but I haven't really cycled in about 27 years.
Oh.
So I'm excited to get back on it, and having the opportunity of the tandem, that's just great. Set up for people that are blind.
That's fantastic. Now, this is a fundraiser as well, not just a personal adventure challenge, but a fundraiser. Who are you raising money for and why?
We're raising money for the Saskatoon Food Bank and Prince Albert Food Bank. Food banks are always important. Everybody's got to eat. Let's help out the food bank.
Perfect. Now, Ron, you're not going alone. Obviously, we talked about your pilot, and you were. What's your title?
I'm the stoker, and the person in the front is the pilot. And my pilot today is Rob House.
And then we've got a crew of other people here already starting to gather, and about 7:15, our next hit, we're actually going to send you off on your way. How many people are you expecting possibly to ride with?
Anywhere from me and Rob to 1,000 people. I have no idea. I've invited a lot of people, and whoever shows up, they're completely invited, and it's going to be a good day.
Fantastic. Okay, so the route is today to Prince Albert and then tomorrow to Waskesiu. You're taking the scenic route, which is good. Maybe a little bit less traffic out there, but it's going to be absolutely tremendous. People can find you on your website?
Go to Blind Adventures with Ron Walsh and Friends. There's a QR code on there. The money goes right to the food bank, and it'll be divided up between Saskatoon and Prince Albert.
All right. What a morning. What an adventure. You never know what you're going to get around here.
Absolutely, Mike. Thank you so much.
Some strong words about U.S. President Donald Trump from Manitoba's premier, who says he is reluctantly open to returning U.S. booze to provincial shelves as part of a trade deal, but hopes Canadians won't buy it. Wab Kinew says everybody knows the American president by now. He's erratic, he's irresponsible, and he's not to be trusted. Gold mining and royalty stocks are rising in pre-market today as bullion trades at its highest price since May, extending gains after the U.S. Treasury's unexpected ramp-up in buybacks of long-dated government debt. Another rise in prices for Canadian manufactured goods last month. The resumption of the conflict in the Middle East driving up energy costs, though a drop in crude oil prices early in July helped drive down manufacturers' raw material costs. Stats Canada's Industrial Product Price Index increased 0.6% in July from the month before. Compared with a year earlier, prices were 12.4% higher. Those are your morning business headlines. For B&M Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
Taking a look at our national forecast now. Very warm day in Prince George, up to 29 degrees, 27 in Vancouver today, mainly sunny. Over in Calgary, 28 degrees and 27 in Edmonton, mainly sunny skies there as well. Winnipeg, though, with some rain, chance of thunderstorms, 26 degrees. As we turn our attention over to Toronto, we're seeing a mild day there today. 23 degrees, up to 25 in Ottawa, though, 24 in Montreal. Fredericton, up to 26 degrees with that sunshine. Some more rain on the way for Halifax this afternoon, 27 degrees. And a cloudy day in St. John's, up to 22 this afternoon. Here's a look at your gas prices in Regina. That average price has gone up overnight. It's at 176.9 now. You could find it for as low as 152.9. In Saskatoon, your average price 169.9. You could find it for as low as 157.9. And in the farm markets, we find the street price of canola at 768.45 per ton. The futures price 820.40 per ton. Amber Durum wheat at 276.15 per ton. Red Spring wheat 291.03 per ton. And the Canadian dollar is up once again today. It's at 72.54 cents U.S. Live music lovers, stay tuned. We're teeing up Shake the Lake in Regina.
I'd say there's potential.
Somebody.
6:30 on your Friday. Thank you for being with us. The Premier was unaware, he says, of a request for proposals that would see the Saskatchewan Marshals Service buy a range of tactical police gear. The public request for bids posted last month called for sniper rifles, night vision goggles, and more planned for use by the new Special Response Unit. The Premier says the government would like to see the Marshals Service focusing on how it can support other enforcement agencies in the province, including the RCMP and municipal forces.
And working closely with those enforcement agencies to ensure that our Saskatchewan Marshal Service is in place, has operating agreements where they can truly support those enforcement agencies in keeping residents safe.
He added the government was following up on the request to see if it should proceed and how. The competition is now listed as closed on the Sask Tenders website. The province says the number of new homes starting construction are on track to meet or exceed last year's total. Finance Minister Jim Ryder says more than 6,000 new homes started construction last year, up 42% from 2024. Ryder says that was the highest growth rate among all provinces and the highest level seen in Saskatchewan since 2014. He says the pace of construction this year suggests that number could be matched or exceeded. He also says more rental units are becoming available with nearly 1,900 new rental and construction starts so far this year, putting the province on pace to surpass last year's record.
Well, we can't take credit for the number of new homes being constructed and the number of rentals coming online. This is driven by the private sector. I can tell you that the role of government is definitely to put policies in place that support the right conditions for growth and affordability.
Builders have previously called for PST to be removed from new construction. Asked if the province would consider it, Ryder says taxation is a balancing act and taxes are reviewed during the budget process. New data from Statistics Canada confirms that cross-border travel between Canada and the U.S. is up, even as trade continues to be causing tension between the two nations.
I mean, we don't necessarily agree with what's happening between the States and Canada, so we'd like to support our friends up in Canada.
The June numbers show that Canadians returned from 2.3 million trips to the U.S. That's up 5% from the previous year. U.S. residents made a total of 3 million trips to Canada. That's a 6.1% increase since last year. But despite the growth, the numbers do show that Canadian trips to the U.S. are still 26.6% below the June 2024 level before trade tensions escalated. Provincial and federal leaders were in Saskatoon to celebrate a milestone with the Elizabeth Fry Society. On Thursday, the province partnered with the Elizabeth Fry Society cut the ribbon on 11 new supportive housing units in Saskatoon. Those units are designed for women involved in the justice system that might be facing incarceration or homelessness.
Our top priority of our program is working towards healing that inner child. And we do that by creating individualized healing plans for our women, and most of those healing plans wrapping around family reunification. This is a beautiful component of our new apartment building where we will get to witness reunification happen and welcome children to live in the building with their mums.
Federal government put in more than $70,000 for construction costs and more than $335,000 for wraparound supports. Expanding Saskatchewan Drive in Regina to improve road maintenance and sidewalks are coming closer to fruition as Executive Committee approved a land acquisition for the development. At Wednesday's executive meeting, the committee unanimously approved acquiring the land at 2704 Saskatchewan Drive for the city's Saskatchewan Drive corridor plan. The land will be used for the construction, expansion, improvement, and maintenance of roadways, sidewalks, and utilities.
It really does create Sask Drive, or move Sask Drive into being a true artery connecting the east and the west ends of the city. And so it's a very large project. It obviously will include lots of underground infrastructure as well, and it'll be done in phases.
Final approval for the acquisition will be presented to City Council for next Wednesday. Saskatchewan's first thermal spa inching toward an opening date. The Dakota Dunes Thermal Spa opened its doors for a sneak peek Thursday ahead of its opening on December 4th. The $54 million spa will be the first thermal cycle spa in Saskatchewan and the first Indigenous spa of its kind in Canada.
We made sure we brought in the best because we want to build the best, and we want to be the best. And when this spa opens, it'll make the Dakota Dunes Resort the #1 resort in Saskatchewan.
To employ 165 people when it opens. A group of thieves at a Saskatchewan park are keeping campers on their toes. This is believed to be one of the sly suspects. Great Blue Heron Provincial Park, northwest of Emma Lake, says 5 foxes are sneaking into campsites and stealing shoes. It's become such an issue, the park has put up these bins specifically for recovered abandoned footwear.
Well, they seem to have good taste. They really like Birkenstocks, but honestly, it's just about anything.
As of this week, about 70 shoes are waiting to be reunited with their owners. My goodness. Saskatchewan Rough Rider defense looking for a bounce-back performance.
Tries to step up and take off, wanted to dump it off, and now just calls his own number and Trey Ford doing Trey Ford things.
Ford tore up the Riders in the second half last week. You know that. The Riders admit they didn't make the right adjustments. Now they've got to face a better quarterback in Nathan Rourke and the BC Lions.
There's certain things you got to be mindful of. Trey Ford likes to use his legs more. He'll, if his reads aren't there, he's going to try to run around and make something happen. I hope that we learn from that tape.
It goes from the linebackers to us. It's just really we all got eyes on Rourke, and then we just making sure we just contain him, really. That's what we need to do.
It's 5 o'clock tomorrow in Vancouver. Kayleen, you want to go back to that story about the fox? This has happened to you?
Yeah, it was a thing when I was a kid. We were not allowed to leave our shoes outside when we were at my cabin because it was known the foxes would steal the shoes. Oh. So not surprised to hear that story at all.
A lot of people are going to be outside for Shake the Lake. What's the temperature going to be like?
It's going to be absolutely beautiful today and tomorrow in Saskatchewan. Sunday's the day we are going to be seeing a little bit more of that rain. Right now, to wake us up in Regina, we're at 10 degrees. The winds are coming in at 9 kilometers per hour. And we are seeing a whole lot of sunshine right now. Through Saskatoon, we were seeing more of that fog just about 30 minutes ago. It's starting to clear now, though. 7 degrees and winds coming in at 7 kilometers per hour. Now, here's a look at winds for the rest of the day. So there is a small spot down through the southwest corner of the province where we'll be seeing some wind gusts. Mainly that is off into the United States, though. We're talking about a split right down the center of Saskatchewan where we're seeing stronger gusts to the east. To the west, not so much today. But even as we take a look to the east, we're only really seeing them up to about 40 kilometers per hour. A little bit stronger for those gusts over in Manitoba today, but they're also expecting some rain and risk of thunderstorms over there, whereas we're expecting a lot of sunshine today here in Saskatchewan. Temperatures up north, a little bit more cool, 9 degrees in Stony Rapids, 9 degrees in Spiritwood, 10 degrees in Prince Albert, 10 degrees in Melfort, and 12 degrees in Hudson Bay. Down in the south, we're seeing some of those higher numbers, 14 degrees in East End, Swift Current, 16 in Assiniboia right right now, 13 degrees in Estevan, 13 degrees in Yorkton. Now into the afternoon, as we mentioned, quite a bit of sunshine on the way. You are seeing that rain icon over in Estevan. Don't worry about that. That's just the last little bit of a system that was making its way through overnight. It is going to be changing to that sunshine icon for the afternoon. 27 degrees there today, 28 in Weyburn, 25 in Regina today, 27 in Moose Jaw, 27 in Swift Current. If you're waking up with us from Yorkton, sunshine on the way for you today as well, 24 degrees. Also seeing that high of 24 in Saskatoon, Prince Albert, and the Battlefords today. So it's going to be a very mild to warm day. 27 degrees tomorrow. So in Regina, it is going to be getting a little bit warmer with that sunshine. Sunday is the day that we are seeing the chance of rain, risk of thunderstorms in central and southern Saskatchewan. 30 degrees coming along with that, though. So it is going to be a hot day. 26 on Monday, 24 on Tuesday. More sunshine on the way for Wednesday, 25 and 28 degrees on Thursday. In Saskatoon, again, a warm weekend on the way, 28 degrees on Saturday. Sunday, you're seeing a high of 31 in the afternoon. We are seeing the chance of rain, risk of thunderstorms into the evening hours, and that is likely to continue through the evening overnight hours to Monday, where we're seeing that continuation of the risk of some thunderstorms. 23 degrees on that day, 25 on Tuesday, 26 on Wednesday with that sunshine, and more of those clouds moving in for Thursday, 27.
You're listening to Ocean Pearl, the 1994 hit that has gone on to become one of 5440's signature songs, and of course a staple at Canadian radio. There's even been a beer named after it, and they're on their way to Saskatchewan. Let's welcome in Dave Jen this morning. Thank you so much for doing this a couple of minutes. That music video bring back some good memories?
Well, I have to admit, I'm the new guy in the band. I've only been in the band for 24 years.
24.
So that video was made before I joined the band. But it certainly brings back memories of my mid-20s and being glued to MTV and Much Music and taking in the Canadian content.
What keeps 5440 going besides the screaming fans singing the lyrics back to you?
We are a bit of a unicorn in that we genuinely enjoy each other's company. And when we're on the road, we hang out in hotel lounges and we go out for dinner and we talk about politics and sports and music and our families. So that's a big one. Not all bands get along, but we do.
You're coming to Shake the Lake. It's going to be a lot of fun. What do you love about outdoor music venues? They're a little different animal for you to play.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it is the hang. You know, you're catching up with old friends in other bands. You know, this summer we've been playing every weekend since mid-June, caught up with a lot of old buddies that we've known for a long, long time. And then, of course, the fans. Everybody's there for a good time, have a couple of pops and get some sunshine and listen to some great music. So the vibe is always super fun. As you mentioned, you're traveling coast to coast this summer. Everywhere you've gone, you've adored, which is awesome. And you've also got a new EP, Travel with Jack. Tell us about this project. Yeah, so we released a beer this year, the Ocean Pearl beer, and we did that because we love the song Ocean Pearl and we love beer. So a little EP came out with a couple of new songs as well as a B-side that had been buried since the mid-90s. So just a little snapshot of what things were like last millennium for us, and a song that had never been released before. How does the beer conversation begin? Do they call you? Do you call them? Yeah, they came to us with an idea, and we went back and forth quite a while, and then we went to the brewery and tasted the beer, and it passed the sip test. So onwards and upwards. And you're sharing the stage on the Saturday night at Shake the Lake with Smash Mouth. Is it nice to interact with some of these other bands that were right around the same eras and a little bit further? Yeah, you know, it's funny. You know, in the 90s, when the bands were coming up, a lot of times you felt a lot of competition backstage. Everybody's sort of standing around going, oh, you know, those guys aren't so good. Now everybody's been through, you know, they've been through the ringer and survived, literally and figuratively. And so what you see from the other bands is that everybody is genuinely grateful to still be doing it at this age. You know, if you are playing a young man's game, a boy's game in middle age or beyond, you just have to count yourself lucky.
I'll get you out of here on this. What do you want people at Shake the Lake to take away from your performance?
Just the fact that we still love what we're doing. We're still making new records. We released a record this year called Porto, which we made in Portugal. You know, we're still a creative force that is writing and recording, and yet we're still churning out the old hits that are making people smile and sing along.
And you can get your tickets at the Connexus Arts Centre box office. Worth the trip down from Saskatoon. Dave, thanks for a couple of minutes.
Thank you very much for having me.
And 5440 is just one of the bands on the bill. Janelle Lippi is on the grounds of the Connexus Arts Centre. Janelle, are we ready to shake the lake?
We're ready to shake the lake. Kayleen, we are already having a ton of fun. It's a beautiful morning, and Erin Campbell is joining me. Erin, thank you for having us this morning.
Thanks for being here.
Let's talk a little bit. Today is the official opening day. Wednesday was a little sneak peek, a little taste into what we can expect. But for the official opening day, what do we have going on?
Much like Wednesday, we've got good vibes, great weather, and a lot of beer.
All right, and we are actually located right where all of that is happening. What do we have around us? This is the front of the Connexus.
Yes, we are at the front ramp of Connexus Arts Centre, and to our left is our food trucks. They span the ramp. We've got Favorito, Paddy Wagon, the Frank Card will be here, and a couple of others. And we've also got our Co-op Comfort Zone to our right. We've got our picnic tables there right next to a bar. You can come enjoy your food, enjoy your drink, and watch the show.
All right, and speaking of that show, we've got the stage directly behind us. Who can we expect to see on it tonight?
Tonight we are starting with a community show for School of Rock, our local music school. And then we jump into some of our main headliners. Barney Bentall and the Legendary Hearts. Honeymoon Suite is here, and then headlining is Sugar Ray.
Okay, so some exciting stuff coming up, and of course, you guys could not have done it all yourselves. There are lots of amazing partnerships and sponsors that have also contributed.
Yes, one of our main sponsors has been Brandt. They've been main sponsor for a few years now. We're so grateful. And as well as the Casino Regina, SGI, SaskTel, you name it.
All right, everybody is a part of it then. So where can people go for some tickets? There's still time to get your hands on them.
Yes, tickets are still available. You can get weekend passes, Saturday, Sunday passes at connexusartcenter.ca.
All right, Erin, thank you so much for your time here. We will be back very soon. Lots of exciting stuff coming up. Kayleen, are you most excited for somebody specific as a performance?
You know what? I'm excited for everybody. I'm ready to shake the lake. Now, Janelle, we're going to check back in with you later on in the show. We're excited for that. Go enjoy the grounds.
I'm Allison Bamford in Saskatoon. Tonight on CTV National News. Distilling the cross-country barriers for booze.
It has been easier to ship into other countries than it has been to ship into other provinces.
Why Canadian alcohol producers are still struggling to sell at home as U.S. liquor makes a potential comeback to store shelves. Tonight on CTV National News and ctvnews.ca.
August 21st, and we have these milestones to share with you. We'll start off with a big happy birthday going out to Scarlett, turning 12 today. Your family says you are their favorite party girl. Have a great day. Happy birthday to Chantel, turning 40. Your sister, nephew, and mom hope you have the best day. Turning 6 years old today is William. Happy birthday to you from your mom, dad, and your brothers. And happy birthday to Brent, turning 62 today. We hope you have a great one. This shout out coming from all of your work pals. And looking forward to the weekend, Dustin will be celebrating his 40th. Have a great day and a great weekend.
Milestones, brought to you by Harbor Landing Village, an award-winning senior care and living community in Regina.
If you have a milestone coming up, send us an email to yourmorningsaskatchewan@ctv.ca or simply scan that QR code on your screen. Please send those in at least one day in advance.
Did you comb through it? Did you find a new record to try to break?
I have not found a new record to break yet, no. I'm still not done with the Slinky one. I think we can find the stairs maybe a plastic one and try it again. So that could be in our near future here. Actually, in your near future, though, you could be winning that trip to Nashville. Monday is when we do the draw. Cameron Whitcomb, Ryman Auditorium, and you. 10 minutes of listening with the iHeartRadio app. That's all it takes. So you have today and then over the weekend to do that. Get in every day. Hopefully you're getting the winning call on Monday. Also coming up this morning, we're going to talk about best and worst drivers by vehicle brand. Actual stats came out for this. Do you have a guess who took number one for the worst? I'll give you a hint. Tesla was number one last year. They're number two this year. So there's a new champion of the worst out there.
Like a title nobody really wants. Chase, thanks very much.
No. We'll talk to you next hour.
The Odyssey is now the highest-grossing R-rated movie ever worldwide. The Christopher Nolan epic has reached $1.35 billion in global grosses. That surpasses the previous record holder, 2024's Deadpool and Wolverine, which tapped out at $1.33 billion.
It kind of keeps revealing more and more depth to it.
Stephen Yeun has a new leading role. He's set to star in the upcoming series Pagans, as a father trying to raise his two kids after his wife's death. Yeun will also serve as an executive producer on the Netflix series.
I would love for you to explain why you broke into my cottage and stole a photo of my dead mother. This is my mother too!
Good news for fans of Sterling Point. Prime Video has ordered a second season of the drama series about a 17-year-old girl who inherits her mysterious grandfather's island in Ontario, Canada. It's a quick renewal for the show, which just premiered August 5th. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Wedding season in full swing, maybe even winding down, and this bride has a serious case of FOMO. All she wants is just to hang out with her friends. They're all the way over there, not at the head table. Erica, the bride, says she wishes she was with her gal pals rather than way up front. Hopefully that's the only thing she regrets about the big day.
This could be a video of Janelle and I. Whenever we have to go work in separate rooms or something, it's just us periodically visiting each other, being like, hi, are you having fun?
Oh, we know.
I miss you.
Oh, we know.
Okay, well, as we know, some little piggies go to the market,
right.
But this little piggy hit the streets of West Hollywood.
Hey, there's a pig in West Hollywood. We gotta catch the pig. We gotta catch that pig, baby.
So this person on an e-bike spotted this piglet roaming the streets. The video shows it zooming past cars and people obviously avoiding capture. It eventually did end up in custody of an animal shelter, though, and that's trying to find the piglet's owner.
Time to bring home the bacon.
Yeah.
We're back after this. Welcome to Friday, August 21st.
I think we should fight. I think we've got the upper hand. They're back on their heels right now. They're coming to us for a deal, and so I think we should fight.
Pushing back, Manitoba's premier telling Canadians not to buy American alcohol when it's returned to store shelves as part of a concession in trade talks. Police and the coroner in Regina identifying the remains of a man buried on Ritalik Street.
We made sure we brought in the best because we want to build the best, and we want to be the best. And when this spa opens, it'll make the Dakota Dunes Resort the #1 resort in Saskatchewan.
Saskatchewan's first thermal spa inching towards an opening date. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Kayleen. Good morning. Happy Friday.
Doesn't look like Janelle or Mike are having any fun. They're out in the sunshine. It's a beautiful day out there.
I know. It almost makes you think, why did I ever come inside?
A lot of, why did I become a house cat?
Put me back outside.
Let's back out there until it's -50, and then I'm going to hibernate.
Yeah.
7:01. Let's get to those news headlines. We start with trade talks as the United States and Canada near a deal which would avoid 50% tariffs kicking in at midnight. There could also be some cracks emerging in the Team Canada United front.
No, we haven't decided to put the booze back on the shelves, but hypothetically, let's say that there was a deal that the Prime Minister really recommended and we decided to put the booze back on the shelves. What I would say to Canadians is leave it there.
All right, so Manitoba Premier Wab Kinew reacted to the request provinces return American alcohol to store shelves. It would be a massive concession to the U.S. in these trade talks. The Americans have listed the booze ban as a trade irritant. Sources tell CTV News there are reductions on tariffs in industries like steel and aluminum and autos. Canadian and American officials met for 3 hours yesterday, and Canada-U.S. Trade Minister Dominic LeBlanc says the deal is very close. QP health workers were lined up at the front of the Pasco Hospital yesterday, still without a contract.
No! Fair wages! No!
The union says they have CCAs walking across hospitals and long-term care facilities with wages $4 below any other province in Canada. Members of QP 5430 say they have not had a deal since 2022.
Our members have been patient. We've gone through the cost of living crisis during COVID. People used to call healthcare workers heroes. Once that was done, we were tossed out by both the employer and this government. They continue to tell us that we should be patient, and we have been extremely patient. But our patience is run. We have now into a wall. We cannot. We need an immediate conclusion to this round of bargaining. If it is not, we will take the next step, which is a job action.
The union says if a deal is not reached soon, they will hold that strike vote from September 8th to 14th. And the Saskatchewan NDP is showing their support for QP healthcare workers, calling on the province to impose a pay freeze for executives with the SHA until a new deal is reached. Carla Beck joined healthcare workers in Saskatoon Thursday, calling for action. She says a recent annual report shows SHA executives received an annual pay increase of 6.1%, with some receiving increases up to more than 13%, which she says works out to more than $28,000. She says those raises should be on freeze until workers represented by these deals have a new agreement.
Get these people a fair deal at the bargaining table. Let's stop the bleeding in our broken healthcare system. To the people of the province, I say this: we will not stop fighting to deliver the change that you so desperately need and deserve, and that these workers deserve.
The SHA says any out-of-scope salary increases are a result of progression within existing pay bands, which have not increased since 2022. It adds the steps taken to reduce financial liability around vacation, and the salaries reported in the SHA's annual report may have also reflected the payout for unused vacation time, not salary increases. The remains of a man buried outside a Regina home have been identified. With the help of the RCMP and Coroner's Service, Regina police identified the man as Wayne Joseph Breed. The discovered remains were reported to police on June 9th. Police say they have been there for a minimum of 5 years, which means Breed would have been 34 at the time. A Saskatchewan man's leg had to be amputated after it was caught in a grain conveyor. The Crono Fire Department confirming the incident happened in the RM of Lejord on Wednesday. When firefighters were dispatched to the Lejord Inland Terminal, Stars Air Ambulance was called to the scene, took that man to hospital. Lejord is southeast of Regina. A 35-year-old woman has been charged in connection with a terrorist plot in New York City.
Had plotted to use an explosive device to attack the New York State Capitol and the New York State senators.
Jessica Bowie was arrested by FBI on one count of attempting to provide material support to a designated foreign terrorist. In audio recordings, Bowie has pledged allegiance to ISIS, saying she wanted to destroy as much of the Capitol buildings as possible and kill the senators while they were meeting. The New York governor said steps were taken to increase security at the Capitol earlier this year because of a rise in political violence and threats against public officials. The Northern Ontario Hockey Association is looking to crack down on poor behavior at the rink.
Any type of maltreatment, disrespect, inappropriate behavior, at the rink, hotels will not be tolerated.
Last season, there were 25 incidents of parent behavior reported and about 70 cases of maltreatment toward officials, opposing players, coaches, or fans. Now, the NOHA is looking for volunteers who are judges, police officers, firefighters, teachers, or lawyers to adjudicate, review, and resolve conduct incidents fairly. Volunteers would need about 100 hours per year to commit to that. If an incident occurs, the volunteer would conduct interviews with witnesses, gather facts, and bring a report to the association. Some Canadian financial institutions are updating their codes of conduct to restrict employees' use of prediction markets. The new rules have been implemented by banks like RBC, TD, and National Bank. They target employees who have access to non-public information, barring them from betting on events like Bank of Canada interest rate decisions or corporate earning metrics, which determine a company's profitability. The new policies follow similar measures taken in the U.S. to prevent any conflict of interest within the firms. Meanwhile, the city of Regina unveiled its new merchandise collection at the Tourism Regina kiosk at the airport yesterday, serving Regina pizza to celebrate. The new merchandise includes T-shirts, hats, water bottles, pins, etc., etc. You can buy it at the airport at the kiosk. Residents can also purchase items that say "I love Regina" from the website.
We're always telling people about it, we're creating content about it and all these different stories. How do we create something that now you can, not only just take with you to eat, but like actually take with you and show with pride? And so that's kind of where the vision came for the Regina Pizza line.
All right, there you go. You see the merch. Kayleen, which one are you buying?
You know
the Globe
what?
Theatre one looks pretty nice.
I was going to say, yeah, I think that one. I think
that's probably the one.
All right, let's turn our attention now to this morning view. It's brought to you by Stars Lottery. Your ticket funds life-saving care across Saskatchewan. Things are warming up out there this morning. We're at 12 degrees now, mainly sunny skies. Winds are pretty calm to start the day. They're only coming in at 6 kilometers per hour. In Saskatoon, we're at 9 degrees. We have some winds coming in at 4 kilometers per hour. And again, mainly sunny skies. We were seeing a little bit of fog earlier on this morning. It does seem like that has cleared up. What we are still seeing, though, is some of that smoke up north. All those areas that are in gray, right along that eastern border in the northeast there into Manitoba, seeing some reduction in the air quality up there. So again, if you find yourself very sensitive to that smoke in the air, Environment Canada is warning you that you should be staying inside today, or at least taking frequent breaks from the outside. Close your windows, close your doors, and protect your health. Radar and satellite showing we also did see some active weather overnight. That system moved in from Alberta. It was tracking down towards the southeast. We're still seeing some of that rain falling in the very far southeast corner of the province. That's not going to be sticking around into the afternoon, though. It's supposed to be a very sunny day. We're not even really seeing a lot of cloud cover in the province today. It's into Saturday morning. We see the smallest amount of some green spots far up north. Again, it's not really going to be bothering you. Saturday is also looking very clear all the way from the morning into the evening hours. A little bit more of that cloud cover moving into the evening. However, again, we're still going to be seeing a lot of that sunshine. Sunday is the morning that we are going to start seeing some of that rain. Mainly down south is where it's going to start, but into the evening hours, we also see some thunderstorm activity moving into north and central Saskatchewan as well as the continuation of some of those thunderstorms down south. Today's forecast, in terms of the temperatures, looking pretty good. 24 degrees in Prince Albert, Saskatoon, the Battlefords, and Yorkton. That's right around the seasonal average, perhaps slightly below in some areas. But down south, we're seeing warmer temperatures, especially around Swift Current and Moose Jaw up to 27, Estevan up to 27, and Weyburn up to 28 today with that sunshine. 5-day forecast also looking really good. We just talked about Saturday being pretty clear, 27 degrees. Sunday, though, again, with the chance of rain, risk of some thunderstorms, it's going to be a hot one, though. 30 degrees on that day, 26 on Monday and 24 on Tuesday. In Saskatoon, 28 degrees for Saturday. Hot afternoon on Sunday, 31 degrees, although we did just see risk of some thunderstorms on Sunday evening. That will continue into Monday afternoon. Time now Now for a look at our rural forecast. Some fairly nice temperatures today, a little more mild through central Saskatchewan, a little bit warmer down south. 23 in Spiritwood today, 24 in Watrous, 26 in Outlook with a lot of sunshine there. Down in the south, again, a little bit more warm. 29 in Leader and Maple Creek today, 27 in East End and Rockland, 28 in Coronach, and 25 in Carlisle today. Let's take a look at La Flèche, where internet plans up to 1 gig are available from SaskTel. 26 degrees this afternoon, mainly sunny, and winds remaining fairly calm, only coming in between 10 to 20 kilometers per hour.
Back out to Mike Siona. You're about to send the blind adventurer off on an adventure of his own.
Yeah, no doubt about it. All the way to Waskesiu. Now today, this entourage, I guess I could call you guys, with Ron Walsh on the lead bike, is off to Prince Albert. Then tomorrow, the rest of the journey. Remind us why you're doing this.
This is a fundraiser for the food bank. Food bank always needs our help.
It's fantastic. It's obviously the Saskatoon Food Bank and the Prince Albert Food Banks will be the benefactors of this. Yeah. We've got quite an allotment here of people on bikes. You've got a police escort, so obviously safety is paramount on a trek like this. What are the challenges for you on a tandem bike like this?
Not falling off. Other than that, I don't need steering or shifting. I'm the motor.
Perfect. Okay, let's talk to the pilot here really quick. Rob, what's it from your perspective, guiding this mission?
I was a little apprehensive when I was first approached about this idea. But, I know Ron, and I want to give a shout out to Teal, who is here with us, who fixed up, retrofitted this bike to make it much more roadworthy. Yeah. And thanks to all of our sponsors, CBC, CTV, I think CKBI, Holland Inn, Bruce's Cycle, Ron, who am I missing?
Lots of people.
Yeah, that's right. They're too numerous, and that's fine. You can go to the website and find all the details on the sponsors, and please do thank them. And thank you for showing people what is possible. What would you tell other people who are dealing, with a loss of sight or any other affliction?
You can pretty well work your way around most things.
Absolutely. Well, there it is. What an absolutely tremendous message. What a great adventure. We're going to let you guys get geared up here and take off. So I guess I get the privilege of sending you off on your wonderful bike adventure. There he is, the blind adventurer, Ron Walsh. Go ahead. Next stop, Prince Albert, you guys, and then on to Waskesiu tomorrow.
That's fabulous stuff. Look at him go.
Right,
Congratulations.
There they go, you guys.
Grab a helmet, Mike. Get in on the action. Corey Mace paid tribute to one of the team's all-time greats for the Riders yesterday, and when asked about it, he also delivered one of the best quotes of the season. Take a listen.
I woke up and just felt like looking sweet, I guess. So shout out to Bobby, I guess. I bought this in the off season, and it was just sitting in the office, and I said, I'm going to throw it on today. That's about it. We got to get him here, though. I haven't met the guy.
There's Corey Mace rocking the number 71 Bobby Jurison jersey. So he just felt like looking sweet.
That's really funny, and I think I'm going to have to steal that as I get ready in the makeup room every morning.
That's probably how you felt throwing on that thing this morning.
Throw on the jersey, woke up, felt like looking sweet today.
Yours says Sawatsky on the back,
Yeah,
too.
it sure does.
Customized. I have a Corey Mace 99 jersey at home. He hasn't seen yet, so I gotta run up and use that line on him next time I see him at one of swimming lessons or something with the kids. So our question of the day today, we've got Shake the Lake happening. Janelle Lipai is out on the grounds. She's going to tee it up a little bit later on again. Who is an artist that if they came to town, you would see them every single time?
We had one consistent answer coming through today. Do you want to guess who?
I wanted to say Garth Brooks, I figured.
Garth Brooks did pop up, but actually the number one answer that came up repeatedly was the Backstreet Boys.
Oh!
Yeah.
Okay.
Taylor is saying my answer is Freddie Mercury,
Well,
though.
you can't really do that anymore. But.
Kelly said I will see George Thorogood and David Wilcox when they are in Saskatoon. Linda saying Burton Cummings, Canadian singer-songwriter.
Burton does put on one heck of a show.
Yeah. Karen saying I would love to see Garth Brooks again at Mosaic and also the Backstreet Boys. So you got both there. Lori saying I would see Marty Stewart or Charlie Major.
Little 80s, 90s country there.
More love for the Backstreet Boys, and I've got every time they've come to Sask. Would love to go to the Sphere, but can't, sadly.
I can't wait to see anything at the Sphere. That thing looks crazy.
Yeah. Susan saying the Eagles and Queen. We had some love for Steven Tyler.
Aerosmith, yeah.
Yeah, it's a good one, too.
Oh, that would be a great show.
So we want to hear from you. We're going to share more answers next hour. Tell us, who is an artist that you will pay every single time they come to town? Text us 10400. Standard message rates may apply. And yeah, we hope to share some more answers next hour.
Time for our morning mystery, just you versus me again. Let's go. It's apparently it's a drink. Clue number 1 of 3 is this. Invented in 1927 and got a big boost from the Great Depression due to its single 10-cent packets.
Packets, okay.
So it's a mix of some kind. It was used as hair dye in the 90s by Kurt Cobain and others. Oh, yeah. The iconic character smashed his way into prominence in the 1950s. Also, you can be said you're drinking this.
And also, saying that it was used as hair dye in the 90s, I did this when I was a kid in the early 2000s.
Oh, so it's still around. I wonder if anybody else is drinking the Kool-Aid out there. Is it Kool-Aid? It is, in fact. Oh, yeah. That's today's Morning Mystery.
150 years we stand together strong across this land. Treaty 6 alive today in every voice that dares to say.
That is a little bit of 1876. It is a brand new and special song, and it's featuring Michelle Jolie and Peter Cameron. But the lyricist and visionary behind this song is with us today. Laurie Shaw Grey Eyes joins us in studio. So first of all, welcome. Nice to have you here. So let's talk a little bit about this song, because it is significant from the standpoint that is commemorating the 150 years since the signing of Treaty 6.
Correct.
How did you become involved in this project?
Well, I came, really, it's my family. My family's from Treaty 6, from Muskeg Lake Cree Nation. My mom went to residential school. My great-grandfather was heavily involved in the 1885 rebellion. So for me, it's really genetics.
Okay.
It's really my legacy within my blood, which is Grey Eyes. So for me, I wanted to create a song. I'm a writer, so pen to paper, on the legacy of 1876 and what it meant to the people of Treaty 6. And so the song talks about the residential school. It talks about Louis Riel, and it really talks about the rising of our people in Canada. It's not just Canadian history, Indigenous history. It's a Canadian history.
Absolutely.
Really.
And I understand this song is going to be performed at a special ceremony at Fort Carlton.
Correct. We're actually playing it tonight, Friday night, starting at 7 till 10, and we're opening the Treaty 6 showcase.
Well, that's very impressive. Now, tell me a little bit about your connection to Michelle Jolie. Had you worked with her before in terms of putting together songs?
I've known Michelle for a couple of years. We've written 4 or 5 songs together. She's the composer, and I'm the lyricist, so I'm the vision, and she's the voice.
Okay.
So Path Back to We Were was a song, and they're all on YouTube. It was about my mother, who went to residential school, wanting to get back to the land and her people. The next one is Spirit of the Prairies, and that's specifically about Louis Riel. And then this one here is 1876, about the people of Treaty 6 and the proud Indigenous in Canada.
Now, is the kind of thing where you tend to be, I'll say, drawn to this particular subject in terms of commemorating things or reaching back into the past and writing about them? Is that sort of the theme that runs through your work?
So my company, thank you for asking, Gen 7 Path, really, one path is truth, the second one is reconciliation. So it's really teaching the Indigenous, because they've lost their voice. A lot of residential school survivors didn't carry on their language and their traditions to their children. children. So it's really through the words of the songs, really understanding what they went through, and it's storytelling. It's really using songs as medicine. The reconciliation part is the non-Indigenous really understanding the history through our words. Our words is healing.
Well, thank you so much for sharing this with us today and sharing the song as well.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
We're honored.
Well, we're thrilled that you've had time for us today because I know it's a big weekend. So
it is.
Thank you so much.
Hi.
All right. It's Laurie Shaw Gray Eyes, the lyricist behind 1876.
Hey everyone, Jermaine Franklin inside the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Thursday. Let's head to everyone's favorite ballpark, the Trop. Jays raise Toronto up 4 in the 7th. Cedric Mullins tries to cut into that deficit with a drive to right, but whoa, what a leaping effort from Nathan Lucas. An incredible catch, and he nearly doubles off the runner at first. Shane Bieber loving the effort as well. The Trop is usually a house of horrors for the Jays, but they pulled off a rare series win this week and earned our must-see moment. And Week 12 in the CFL continues tonight as the Elks host the Bombers on Friday Night Football. Edmonton looking to become the first team to reach 8 wins in the West. Coverage begins at 9 Eastern on TSN 1 and 3. That's it from the Sports Center newsroom. Have a great day.
All right, travelers, listen up. Here's a look at your national forecast. 28 degrees in Vancouver today, 29 in Prince George, 28 in Calgary, and 27 in Edmonton. Over in Winnipeg, 26 degrees, chance of rain, risk of some thunderstorms today. In Toronto, a pleasant day, but a little more mild. 23 degrees, Ottawa up to 26, Montreal 24, mainly sunny skies there. Also seeing that sunshine in Fredericton today, 26 degrees. Halifax up to 25, and St. John's, a bit more of that cloud cover today, up to 23 degrees. In Regina, your average gas price is up today. It's now at $176.9. You could find it still for as low as $152.9. In Saskatoon, your average price hasn't moved since yesterday, $169.9, and you could find it for as low as $157.9. In the farm markets, the street price of canola is at $768.45 per ton. The futures price $820.40 per ton. Amber Durum wheat $276.15 per ton, and Red Spring wheat $291.03 per ton. The Canadian dollar is up today. It's at 72.54 cents US. Coming up, Saskatchewan's first thermal spa is inching towards an opening date. Stay with us for the details.
7:30, let's see what's making the news. Premier Scott Moe says he was unaware of a request for proposals that would see the Saskatchewan Marshal Service buy a range of tactical police gear. The public request for bids posted last month called for sniper rifles, night vision goggles, and more planned for use by the Special Response Unit. Now, the Premier says the government would like to see the Marshals focus on how it can support other enforcement agencies in the province, including the RCMP.
And working closely with those enforcement agencies to ensure that our Saskatchewan Marshal Service is in place, has operating agreements where they can truly support those enforcement agencies in keeping residents safe.
He added the government was following up on the request to see how or if it should proceed. The competition is now listed as closed on the website. Since the city of Regina proposed to extend Prince of Wales Drive in the East End, they've received pushback from residents in the area. Now they face a legal challenge. As Jacob Carr tells us, Ducks Unlimited Canada and the Mickle family have filed a statement of claim against that proposal.
The raw sounds of nature are something that Ducks Unlimited Canada and the McKell family are worried will become disturbed by the City of Regina's proposed Prince of Wales Drive extension, so they have filed a statement of claim against the city, and they are not the only ones with concerns. Last week, Heritage Regina penned a letter to City Council in support of the preservation of the McKell-Wascana Conservation Park.
We think it's a really important piece of Regina's living and cultural heritage. It's a kind of hundreds of acres of untouched native prairie that has remained protected for decades, and the goal of the park establishment and the easement is to keep it that way.
According to the statement of claim, the city's continued pursuit of development has harmed and will continue to harm the plaintiffs and their legal interests, adding this action is necessary to address the city's failure to abide by its commitments to conserve and protect the park and the corresponding conservation easements. Going on to say, should City Council resolve to abandon the contemplated extension entirely, a statement of defense will not be required and the matter will not proceed. Another organization making their concerns heard is the Saskatchewan Archaeological Society.
So our concern is mainly making sure that there's an assessment done, an archaeological assessment, so that if there are any archaeological sites there or artifacts or belongings, that these are properly recorded.
Archaeological assessments are currently being undertaken as part of the city's functional study for the proposed road extension. Heritage Regina also adding that disturbing the park would be a step backward in terms of the city's sustainability efforts.
The City of Regina has a lot to be proud of in terms of the kind of efforts towards sustainability and heritage preservation that they have taken in the last several decades, and we encourage them to kind of keep the park intact.
CTV News reached out to the City of Regina for comment, but was told as the matter is before the courts, they had no comment at this time. Jacob Carr, CTV News, Regina.
New data from Statistics Canada confirms that cross-border travel between Canada and the U.S. is up, even as trade tensions grow.
Political climate, we don't necessarily agree with what's happening between the States and Canada, so we'd like to support our friends up in Canada.
So the June numbers show that Canadians returned from 2.3 million trips to the U.S. That's up 5% over the previous year. U.S. residents made a total of 3 million trips to Canada. That's a 6.1% jump. But despite the growth, the numbers do show that Canadian trips to the U.S. are still 26.6% below June 2024, when trade tensions escalated. Regina's Executive Committee has approved a land acquisition necessary for the Sask Drive expansion project. It's at 2704 Saskatchewan Drive and is part of the corridor plan. The city says that land will be used for the construction, expansion, improvement, and maintenance of roadways, sidewalks, and utilities.
It really does create Sask Drive, or move Sask Drive into being a true artery connecting the east and the west ends of the city. And so it's a very large project. It obviously will include lots of underground infrastructure as well, and it'll be done in phases.
It's up for final approval at Wednesday's council meeting. Dakota Dunes opened its doors for a sneak peek of its upcoming thermal spa as it inches towards completion. Keenan Sorokon reports.
Saskatchewan's newest spa now has an opening date. The Dakota Dunes Thermal Spa will begin accepting guests on December 4th.
And when this spa opens, it'll make the Dakota Dunes Resort the #1 resort in Saskatchewan.
An event on Thursday showed the progress of the construction that will make Dakota Dunes a year-round destination. This $54 million project broke ground 2 years ago and will become the first spa in Canada to ground guests to the land while introducing Indigenous cultural customs to the spa experience.
Demonstrating that First Nations really have the capacity and are beyond capacity to step into places and expand and demonstrate what is possible when you have good partnership.
When complete later this winter, these steam rooms, saunas, and pools will provide an experience you can't find anywhere else in Saskatchewan. Situated just steps away from the golf course, it's all part of a decades-long vision for Whitecap Dakota Dunes.
When you accept the responsibility of being a leader, you also accept all the challenges that come with it, and you find solutions and you turn them into opportunities, and you make sure you have a strong team around you to execute.
Darcy Bear became chief of Whitecap Dakota First Nation 32 years ago when he was 26 years old. His desire to create more opportunity for his people eventually led to the creation of Dakota Dunes Golf Course in 2004. 3 years later, Whitecap added a casino, and in 2020, the resort hotel opened, making Whitecap a recreation destination, all before adding a world-class spa.
You know, so it's just meant to be, and we've done one hell of a job, and we're not done yet. That's the positive thing. We're not done.
The thermal spa will begin accepting bookings closer to opening day. Keenan Sorokon, Whitecap Dakota First Nation.
People arriving at Regina's International Airport greeted with a welcome party on Thursday morning. They probably didn't expect this. The Good Morning Project welcomed flyers with a DJ, free coffee, and all sorts of stuff. The organization asked people to wear yellow and bring the energy.
The idea is just to make people realize, oh,
didn't expect this from Regina, and that's all we're trying to do. Make sure people arrive here and have a great morning.
Good Morning Project is a community-led initiative designed to shift how our city interacts, encouraging people to start their day with kindness. And they post a whole bunch of videos on social media. Have they asked you yet to do one, Kayleen, as we take a look at the northern lights above Manitou captured by Kim?
No, but I would love to do one. I've seen that you've done one before.
I did one briefly. Look at these northern lights.
Beautiful photos. Wow.
Keep sending them in to us as we get to the forecast.
Yeah, we would love to see those at Your Morning Saskatchewan at CTV.ca. All right, let's turn our attention outside. Now we're at 12 degrees still, so that temperature hasn't really gone up. It also hasn't gone down, so nothing too bad to start the day. Winds coming in at 6 kilometers per hour, mainly sunny skies in Regina. Also seeing that sunshine in Saskatoon now. We were seeing a bit of fog earlier on in the morning. That has cleared. 9 degrees, though, winds coming in at 4 kilometers per hour. Now, Saskatoon, we're not really seeing the winds going up all too much today, but there's a very clear split in the province as to where we will be seeing those winds gusting up to about 40 kilometers per hour, and that is right around Hudson Bay, Yorkton, and down through Estevan. All those areas lighting up in blue. If you're waking up with us from anywhere along that western Saskatchewan border with Alberta, not really seeing those winds going up all too much today. Now for current temperatures, 12 degrees in Stony Rapids and Buffalo Narrows now, 12 degrees as well in South End and Prince Albert, as well as Hudson Bay, 13 degrees in La Ronge and Nipawin, 10 degrees in Spiritwood, and 11 degrees in Melfort. A bit more of that warmth through parts of the southwest corner, 14 degrees in Kindersley, 16 in Swift Current, 16 in Assiniboia, and 14 degrees in East End. Also seeing 14 degrees over in Yorkton, though, and in Estevan as well. Here's a look at the afternoon. It was only about 20 minutes ago we were seeing that rain icon down through Estevan and Weyburn. That system has since passed. That was affecting us overnight. Temperatures into the afternoon going to be really nice and warm. 28 degrees in Weyburn today, 27 in Estevan, 27 in Swift Current, 28 in Moose Jaw. A bit closer to that seasonal average in Regina, though, 25 degrees. So a very pleasant day. 24 in Yorkton, 24 in Saskatoon, as well as Prince Albert and the Battlefords today. Let's take a look at our 7-day forecast now. So the weekend is looking really nice for Saturday. 27 degrees, clear skies, a great option to get outside and enjoy it while we still have these nice temperatures. Seeing a nice warm temperature on Sunday of 30 degrees, but we do have chance of rain, risk of thunderstorms, and that is likely to be kind of stopping and going throughout the morning. Stops for a bit in the early afternoon, but then it does return in the later afternoon. 26 degrees on Monday with the skies clearing up, 24 on Tuesday, 25 on Wednesday, and 28 by Thursday. In Saskatoon, again, a really nice start to the weekend, 28 on Saturday, and then 31 in the early afternoon on Sunday. It's actually into the evening hours in Saskatoon that we are expecting to be seeing that rain starting to fall. That is likely to be coming with some thunderstorms that evening, and those thunderstorms will continue on into Monday afternoon as well.
A 3-month investigation has led to fentanyl production and drug trafficking charges in Regina. Police say the seizure prevented more than 50,000 single doses of fentanyl from hitting city streets, and that has an approximate street value of more than $500,000. The police chief, Lorelei Davies, in studio with us this morning. Let's start there, Chief. This is a monumental bust.
Absolutely. So it's the culmination of over 3 months of work by our drug unit, lots of collaboration with other police services across Western Canada, but certainly significant seizure. You know, if you think of that number of doses that have not hit the streets in our community, and the impact on community safety is really huge.
Very proud of your officers, but how difficult is it to put together an operation like this?
It's extremely difficult. You think about all the little pieces of the puzzle that you have to put together, you know, working with other police agencies, the number of judicial authorizations the officers have to get. It's literally like a 24/7 investigation that took over 3 months. So yeah, incredible hard work, diligent, and certainly the results have paid off.
And this is the first time drug production charges have been laid in the city of Regina. Does that speak towards where we are with the drug problem in town, or is this somebody setting up shop in a one-off?
Yeah, you know, I think you're right. This is the first time we've seen it. We typically see people bringing in the drugs that are ready for sale. And so clearly this is something that's concerning, but certainly we're happy that we were able to intercept that and lay charges and hold those accountable.
As a parent of young kids, I am too. We can't not talk about the human remains that were found on Retallick Street. Looks like they may have been 5 years old, is what the reports are saying. What can you share about that situation?
So it was through the public that we were able to get some information, some leads, are able to get some DNA there, and then through National DNA, be able to confirm that the remains did belong to a Regina man who would now be 34 years of age. So now we're really digging into determining the circumstances that led to the death. So obviously it's suspicious to have someone's remains in a backyard. So we'll be digging into that, trying to find some more information and really put together a full story about what happened there.
People watching are going to want a timeline on that. Is it difficult to put a timestamp on something?
It really is, yeah. It depends if we're able to find people that might have that information. Again, pulling all those threads together to be able to make something that's concrete. So, we're working on it as quickly as we can, obviously, but certainly do rely, again, on information from the public that might be able to help us out.
Province is taking steps to make hospitals a little safer. There's a number of initiatives that they've led. How big is the problem here in the Queen City? How many responses are you making to hospitals and why?
Yeah, I would say it's not something huge for us. Obviously, if we do get calls to the hospital to assist, we're able to go there and respond quickly. But mostly if people are seeing officers at hospitals, it's because we're taking someone there who has maybe been injured or someone that we've arrested that's had injuries. And so certainly hospitals are a large part of our community, and certainly part of our role is to ensure safety for everyone that's there. But I would say people shouldn't be concerned about their safety when heading to hospitals, that they will be fine.
It's back to school almost already. Oh my goodness. Message to public when we talk back to school.
Yeah, there's going to be lots of excitement that first week or so. Kids are going to be excited, may not be following the rules of the road. We're reminding all motorists to slow down, observe those school slowdowns. Our officers will be out that first day. We'll be set up at some schools, ensuring that everyone's following the rules of the road and that we're ensuring that all those young students are safe.
Those fines are not cheap. Lorelei Davies, thank you so much for doing this. And remember, don't do a U-turn in a school zone, ever.
What's happening in our community. The Early Shift Pop-Up Dance for Women is on August 21st, 6 p.m. at the Artesian. Visit earlyshift.ca. The Arcola Roughstock Rodeo is on August 21st, 6:30 p.m. at the Arcola Rodeo Grounds. Email arcolarodeo@gmail.com. The Regina Victory Church Summerfest is on August 22nd, 11 a.m. at 1825 Victoria Avenue East. Visit reginavictory.com. And a craft and trade show is on August 22nd, 2 p.m. at McNaughton Park in Regina. Visit rpcaregina.ca. Submit your event to our community by visiting our website, ctvregina.ca, and click Community Calendar or scan the QR code on your screen.
Shake the Lake happening at the Connexus Arts Center this weekend. The great thing about an outdoor venue like that, Janelle, is that you got the beautiful weather and they can always fit more people in.
That's right, Daryl. There is tons of space for everybody here, and I've got Erin Campbell back with me to talk more about it and what we can expect. Erin, thank you so much for being here. Now, lots of excitement coming up. We're very close to the stage here. What do we have around us? Because there's different vendors, different venues. What can people look forward to?
Yeah, so we've got a great outdoor space on the West Lawn. Their QC Distilleries is going to be here with their cocktail caravan, and just behind them, the Cornhole Association's here with Cornhole. We also have our concession inside the building, along with extra washrooms if you need. And Just a note about our accessibility. We've got some accessible seating here. And our east parking lot, if our building faces north, our east parking lot is for VIP. So if you have a chalet, a party suite, a premium reserve ticket, that's where you're going to want to go, or if you are an accessible ticket holder.
All right, so everybody really does have the opportunity to come down and enjoy this. And there's tickets left, still an opportunity for people to get their hands on them. Where can they go for that?
You should go to connexusartcenter.ca to get your tickets before 3 o'clock today.
Awesome. All right. Now, we talked about it a little bit earlier here this morning, but what's, going on for, the official opening day? Wednesday was the beaches. It was a ton of fun. What are we looking forward to tonight?
Yeah, our hosts from Ralco Radio will be here, and they'll be announcing Honeymoon Suites, Barney Bent's Hall and the Legendary Hearts, and our headliner, Sugar Ray.
Okay, and tonight's not the only night as well, because tomorrow, even more excitement on the way. Erin, I really appreciate this. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, well, official opening day, tons of great performances coming up. Daryl, are you coming to any of them?
I should be at all of them, and you should join the band, I think. I've seen your musical stylings, and they are superb.
Yeah.
It's August 21st, and we have these milestones to share with you. We'll start off with a big happy birthday going out to Scarlett, turning 12 today. Your family says you are their favorite party girl. Have a great day. Happy birthday to Chantel, turning 40. Your sister, nephew, and mom hope you have the best day. Turning 6 years old today is William. Happy birthday to you from your mom, dad, and your brothers. And happy birthday to Brent, turning 62 today. We hope you have a great one. This shout out coming from all of your work pals. And looking forward to the weekend now. Dustin will be celebrating his 40th. Have a great day and a great weekend.
Milestones, brought to you by Harbor Landing Village, an award-winning senior care and living community in Regina.
If you have a milestone coming up, send us an email to yourmorningsaskatchewan@ctv.ca or simply scan that QR code on your screen. Please send those in at least one day in advance.
Hey, I know you play country music all day. Are you going to go over and shake the lake a little bit? Sugar Ray's there.
We're not going tonight for Sugar Ray. Tomorrow, though, Smash Mouth. So we'll be walking on the sun, getting our all-star on. Very, very excited for it. Really taking me back to the childhood. So that'll be Saturday. We're also at I Love Regina Day tomorrow, too. So make sure and come and find us out there for some fun. And you know what? It's going to be a hot weekend. If ice cream is in the forecast for you, we're going to be going over. Someone did a whole Reddit thread on like the best of the best ice cream. They did an ice cream pub crawl. So we'll give you the results, what they had to say with that. Although I say this is one of those ones you just got to go sample it yourself. Like all weekend long, 10 ice cream spots, rank them all. Bring some Tums with you too, because it might get a little much, but
You're showing your age.
You got to risk it.
You're showing your age at that point if you need the Tums. Chase, have a great weekend.
I can only do 8 ice cream spots before Tums need to come into effect.
My mom died when I was little. She used to spend some time here, so I'm just checking it out.
The hit coming-of-age series Sterling Point is returning for a second season. The Prime Video series follows New York City teen Annie Jacobson, whose life changes overnight when she inherits an island in Canada from her grandfather.
I don't want you taking chances just because you got one foot in the grave.
Also from Prime Video, we have our first look at the Terminal List second season. The new season follows James Reese on a quest for redemption while on a new international assignment. The Chris Pratt-led series returns to the streamer on October 21st.
Hope I'm never one of your patients.
Makes 2 of us, my friend.
The Pit has added 7 new cast members to the third season. The new actors include Stephen Chang, Hannah Ware, and Barry Clifton. The third season of HBO's hit medical drama is currently in production. And happy birthday to country singer Casey Musgraves, who is 38 today. That's what's happening in Hollywood. I'm Alex Stone, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Season is in full swing and almost wrapping up, but this bride has serious cases of FOMO. Take a look. about the wedding. She just wants to be with her friends. Erica was the bride, and she just wants to be having fun with her gal pals rather than being at the table with her husband at the front. Hopefully that's the only thing she regrets about her big day.
Well, if they were real good friends, they'd be at the same table with her, would they not?
Yeah, exactly. You got to plan the wedding to have your wedding party up at the front table with you.
This is likely an American wedding, and that's an American tradition, just to have the couple at the front and not the rest of it. So that's probably part of it. Some little piggies go to market. This little piggy hit the streets of West Hollywood.
Hey, there's a pig in West Hollywood. We gotta catch the pig. We gotta catch that pig, baby.
Just desperately trying to bring home the bacon. He avoided capture until eventually being taken in by the animal shelter.
Thank goodness the piglet is safe, but also if you were just driving around and you saw a piglet running around the road, like, I mean, in Saskatchewan, I guess it'd be less weird, but in West Hollywood?
If you call somebody and tell them the story, they'd say, you're such a ham.
Huh.
Here's a reminder, you have to start somewhere.
I'm back, where are we going? Till we get started on the morning dawn. With the bass in all my head.
Look at her go. There's the progress coming along. Started to master jumps and cliffs. It's a reminder you need patience to get where you're going. There's the starting video. That's how she started.
Wow.
And now she's zooming around.
Practice takes perfect.
It's hard.
It's finally Friday, August 21st.
Are you able to say anything about negotiations, Ambassador?
I am not.
Nearing a deal, Canadian officials tight-lipped on details but say they're very close to avoiding those 50% tariffs. A Saskatchewan man's leg had to be amputated after it was caught in a grain conveyor, what we know so far.
Tries to step up and take off, wanted to dump it off, and now just calls his own number and pray forward, doing pray forward things. You get him running.
Riders' defense regrouping and readying to face the mighty BC Lions. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Your morning, Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Kayleen. Good morning. Happy Friday.
I almost forgot that I Love Regina Day is tomorrow. If you're tuning in from Saskatoon, come on down.
Yeah, I think both of us will be there, right?
There's bouncy houses, so...
yeah, with young
Two kids under 5?
We go where the bouncy houses are.
That's bouncy houses are life. Let's get to news. We're talking about that trade deal, Canada-U.S. nearing a trade deal which would avoid those 50% tariffs that would kick in at midnight tonight. There could also be some cracks emerging in Team Canada.
So right now, we haven't decided to put the booze back on the shelves, but hypothetically, let's say that there was a deal that the Prime Minister really recommended and we decided to put the booze back on the shelves. What I would say to Canadians is leave it there.
Manitoba Premier Wab Kinew reacted to the request provinces return American alcohol to store shelves. Saskatchewan never took it off. It would be a massive concession in these trade talks to the U.S. The Americans have listed that as a trade irritant. Now, sources tell CTV News there are reductions on tariffs in steel, aluminum, and autos in the deal. Canadian and American officials met for hours yesterday. The trade minister says the deal is very close, so we'll continue to follow that. In the meantime, family and friends of a man from Carry the Kettle, Nakota Nation continue to grieve as a teenager responsible for his death received his sentencing Thursday. Sierra de Souza Batts reports.
A teenager who pleaded guilty to manslaughter was handed the maximum youth sentence of 3 years in the death of Drew Jack from Carry the Kettle, Nakota Nation. Jack died from a gunshot wound to the torso on March 21st, 2025, after he and several adults went looking for a stolen vehicle and a group of youths on the reserve. Jack intervened in an argument between a girl and the offender, who then shot him. The teenager cannot be named under the Youth Criminal Justice Act. Although both counsels submitted a joint sentence of 3 years, they disagreed on how the teen should serve his time. In her decision, Justice Catherine Dawson issued the 3-year sentence with an additional 1 year of structure to help the youth reintegrate back into society safely, taking into consideration the teen's prior criminal offenses related to assault, firearms, and breaking probation orders. As a result, he will serve 2 years behind bars, followed by 1 year in secure closed custody and 6 months of open custody, followed by 180 days of community supervision. He will also be given credit for a year spent in pretrial custody. The teen will be prohibited from carrying a firearm for 10 years following the conclusion of his sentence. Through victim impact statements, Jack was described as a good, kind, decent, loving human being, and that he was a good Samaritan, which was what he was doing on the day he passed. Although a sentence has been handed, loved ones of Jack continue to mourn as his death leaves a lasting impact to their community. Sierra D'Souza Butts, CTV News, Regina.
The remains of a man buried outside a Regina home have been identified. With the help of RCMP and the Saskatchewan Coroner's Service, Regina police identified the man as Wayne Joseph Breed. The discovered remains were reported to police on June 9th. Police say they have been there for a minimum of 5 years. Breed would have been 34.
Digging into determining the circumstances that led to the death. So obviously it's suspicious to have, someone's remains in a backyard. So we'll be digging into that, trying to find some more information and really put together a full story about what happened there.
Regina police say it's difficult to put a timeline on when they could provide more answers in this case. You can stream that full conversation on our website. A Saskatchewan man's leg had to be amputated after it was caught in a conveyor. Now, Corono Police, the fire department, confirming the incident happened in the RM of Lejourd on Wednesday. Firefighters were dispatched to the inland terminal. Stars Air Ambulance was called and took him to hospital. Lejourd is southeast of our city. CUPE healthcare workers lined up in front of the Pascal Hospital in Regina, still without a contract.
Fair wages!
Says they have people walking across hospitals and long-term care facilities with wages $4 below any province in Canada. Members of the union say they have not had a raise since 2022.
Our members have been patient. We've gone through the cost of living crisis during COVID. People used to call healthcare workers heroes. Once that was done, we were tossed out by both the employer and this government. They continue to tell us that we should be patient, and we have been extremely patient. But our patience is run. We have now into a wall. We cannot. We need an immediate conclusion to this round of bargaining. If it is not, we will take the next step, which is a job action.
The union says if a deal isn't reached soon, they'll hold a strike vote in September. The Saskatchewan NDP showing their support for healthcare workers, calling on the province to impose a pay freeze for executives with the SHA until an agreement is reached. Carla Beck joined healthcare workers in Saskatoon Thursday calling for that action. She says the recent annual report shows executives received an annual pay increase of 6.1%, with some receiving increases up to more than 13%. She says that works out to $28,000. She says those raises should be frozen until a deal is met.
These people a fair deal at the bargaining table. Let's stop the bleeding in our broken healthcare system. To the people of the province, I say this: we will not stop fighting to deliver the change that you so desperately need and deserve, and that these workers deserve.
The SHA says any out-of-scope salary increases are a result of progression within existing pay bands that have not increased since 2022, adding that steps have been taken to reduce financial liability around vacation and that salaries reported in the SHA's annual report may have reflected the payout for unused vacation time and not salary increases. The province says the number of new homes starting construction are on track to meet or exceed last year's total. The finance minister says more than 6,000 homes have started construction in the last year, up 42% from the year before. Ryder says the highest growth rate among all provinces and the highest level seen in Saskatchewan since 2014.
Well, we can't take credit for the number of new homes being constructed and the number of rentals coming online. This is driven by the private sector. I can tell you that the role of government is definitely to put policies in place that support the right conditions for growth and affordability.
Home builders had previously called for PST to be removed from new construction. The Saskatchewan Roughriders defense looking for a bounce-back performance. Donovan Mace to tee up the game against the BC Lions.
Trying to come back against Saskatchewan, rolling to the right, launching it deep, wide open in the end zone. My goodness!
giving up 16 unanswered points in the fourth quarter in last week's loss, the result of too many miscues, says Rough Riders head coach Corey Mace.
We didn't play complimentary. We lost the turnover battle, lost the penalty battle.
Hamilton quarterback Trey Ford entering the ball game in the second half, leading the Tiger Cats' comeback.
Trey Ford taking off again. Ford using his legs.
Ford throwing over 150 yards, adding another 40 on the ground with his legs.
But now just calls his own number, and Trey Ford doing Trey Ford things.
And Saskatchewan admits they didn't make the necessary adjustments after the change in quarterback.
There's certain things you got to be mindful of. Trey Ford likes to use his legs more. He'll, if his reads aren't there, he's going to try to run around and make something happen. I hope that we learn from that tape.
Now the defense is hoping to avoid a repeat performance.
And he has a first down. He's trying for a touchdown.
With the league's reigning most outstanding player, Nathan Rourke, also bringing a dual threat attack in the backfield.
It goes from the linebackers to us. And it's just really we all got eyes on Rourke, and then we just making sure we just contain him, really. That's what we need to do.
Saskatchewan already has success against Rourke this season.
Pressure coming. The blitz, they got it.
The defense allowing him just 330 passing yards and close to 60 rushing, but the Riders taking the victory in week 2.
A mobile quarterback's a mobile quarterback. You got to keep him in the pocket best you can. If you can't, he gets out. I mean, it's not really that complicated.
Hopeful the adjustments needed have been made.
I'm eager to fix the things that we need to fix, and that's literally there's places all over in all phases of the team that we got to fix, and these guys know that, and they're eager to get the fixes as well.
Donovan Mace, CTV News, Regina.
Coach Mace also delivered the clip of the century yesterday. We got that coming up in the half hour. Caitlin, what's going on?
All right, well, let's turn our attention to the Morning View. It's brought to you by Stars Lottery, your ticket funds life-saving care across Saskatchewan. It's been a pretty nice day to wake us up in Regina, even more so in the past 20 or 30 minutes. So here we were at 12 degrees the last time we checked in at the Weather Center. Now we're up to 17 degrees. So the temperatures are going up rather quickly. We have winds coming in at 9 kilometers per hour with a whole lot of sunshine to start the day. Not quite as warm through Saskatoon, but we are still seeing a lot of sunshine. 13 degrees and winds currently coming in at 7 kilometers per hour. We're also talking about air quality in northern Saskatchewan today, specifically the northeast. We are seeing quite the reduction. The air quality health index is sitting at moderate up there right now. Could be getting worse before it gets better. We're going to keep an eye on things. But again, Environment Canada is telling you that if you have health conditions, underlying health conditions that could be agitated by the smoke in the air, make sure you are staying inside today with the windows and doors closed. Radar and satellite showing we did see some active precipitation falling overnight. It was only about an hour or so ago we were seeing the last little bit of that system impacting areas through southeast Saskatchewan. It does seem like that has now made its way out to the United States. We're not really seeing a whole lot of active weather now in the province. We're not even seeing a whole lot of cloud cover. That is mainly concentrating in northern Manitoba. But into the afternoon today, things are continuing on to look pretty clear. There's a very small system that popped up very briefly right around Meadow Lake, and then it went away again. So we could still be seeing just the smallest amount of drizzle today, but mainly what we're expecting is actually into Saturday. We'll be seeing some more of that cloud cover popping up. Saturday is still going to be very nice, though, not seeing a whole lot of the rain until Sunday morning. This is at about 6:30 a.m. where we're seeing that system right around Regina and down through the southeast corner of the province. And then into the evening hours, we see more of that rain and thunderstorm activity popping up in both north, central and southern Saskatchewan as well. Today's forecast, though, with the temperatures looking closer to that seasonal average around central Saskatchewan. So 24 degrees in Yorkton, Saskatoon, Prince Albert and the Battlefords down south, seeing more of the warmth. 27 in Swift Current, 28 in Moose Jaw, 25 in Regina today, 28 degrees in Weyburn and 27 degrees in Estevan, mainly sunny skies.
2020, BTS's new single Dynamite became the first video viewed more than 100 million times in 24 hours on the YouTube. August 21st, 2020, Lori Loughlin was sentenced to 2 months in prison for her role in the U.S. college admissions bribery scandal. And August 21st, 2019, Nigeria marked 3 years with no cases of polio in landmark toward eradication of that disease. 10 years gone, but this moment feels like just yesterday for many people across the country. The Tragically Hip performed Ahead by a Century live from their hometown of Kingston, Ontario a decade ago. It's the last song they played as a band together. Now, for those unforgettable moments, they're being preserved forever. The record, titled Live July 22nd to August 20th, 2016, is now available, featuring recordings from the band's final cross-Canada tour.
You want to give a shout out to your dad? This is one of his favorites, right?
No, Dad hates the Tragically Hip. But Paul Langlois is coming to town, to the Casino Regina Show Lounge. So he's bringing his band. He's playing some hits, he said, from the Tragically Hip. And if you want to see that interview, it's on our website. Yeah, Dad hates the Tragically Hip.
Yeah.
Can't handle them. But not for everybody, right?
Not for everybody.
To each their own.
Different opinions. We are asking you today if there is an artist that you would pay to see every single time they come to town. The Backstreet Boys were getting a lot of love earlier in the show. Now we're getting some love for Nickelback from Dave. Michelle B is saying I would see Bryan Adams. I just love his music. Hosier had some love. They were in Saskatoon. Was it
taking people to church?
This year? Yeah. I heard the show was great. I did not go. Sheena saying Theory of a Dead Man. I've seen them about 15 times.
Wow.
Even met them a few times.
That's
they put on a great show. They
probably remember you at this point.
Diane in Saskatoon saying Paul Brandt. Every time would pay to see Paul Brandt.
Alberta Bound, soundtrack to every trip home.
Paul Brandt once tweeted at me because I had a funny tweet about him, and he said that my tweets were funny and that I could be the next girl on one of his recordings. That the
the talkers,
the voicemail girl at the front of an album.
Oh, yeah. Now we got to get you into music video.
He said that could be me, but then he never followed up. So Paul Brandt, I still remember.
I'm still trying to be in a music video. I'm still trying to be in a Hallmark video. They spelled straight wrong, but the King George Strait from Hank.
Yeah, Hank saying George Strait, hands down.
Just getting out the door before school can be a tough task, but making sure your student can power through the day doesn't have to be hard.
What we want to make sure is that it has balance and some good protein in it to help get them to maybe the next snack or that next lunch.
Catherine Sherry with Children's Healthcare of Atlanta says if your child doesn't enjoy eating first thing in the morning, that's okay. The meal doesn't have to be large, she says, to just give them some sort of protein and a carb that can help them kick off the school day.
That would be something like a whole wheat piece of toast with some peanut butter, maybe some hummus on there.
Other simple and effective healthy breakfast ideas: Greek yogurt, add berries and nuts or seeds. Sherry says you can also mix in peanut butter for another pop of protein, or a little honey or maple syrup. Just limit the overall sugar content.
A breakfast also doesn't just have to be breakfast food. It can be leftover dinner. We could have a turkey wrap. We could have a peanut butter and banana sandwich.
Sherry says breakfast pizzas can also be a hit. Whole wheat tortilla, a little sauce, maybe some leftover beans or chicken from the night before, and pop it in the oven to warm it up. Breakfast burritos are also good on the go. Pack them with eggs, veggies, avocado, and cheese. And she says to make them ahead of time.
Freeze them, and that's something quick and easy that we've made in bulk and we can have multiple times throughout the week.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Health Report, brought to you in part by SEIU West, Saskatchewan's first healthcare union.
They're cycling for a cause up in Saskatoon. Mike has already sent the bikers on their way, so who do you got now?
Well, Ron Walsh, the blind adventurer, is off on his adventure all the way to Waskesiu. And we're here now with the Dallas Lynch of CNIB. Just talk to me first and foremost about your organization and what it does for those without sight.
Yeah, so CNIB has been around for over 100 years, and for Saskatchewan, we support individuals with programming with both for kids and adults across the province. province. We also have a store that helps people find items that support them in their daily lives, and work with our partners, Vision Loss Rehabilitation and Deafblind Community Services, to provide services to people with vision loss in the community. So.
For sure. Now, I can't even imagine what that would be like. In Ron's case, he was sighted, now not. But he hasn't let that slow him down. He is literally biking from here to Waskesiu. What does a story like this and the community support like this mean for others?
Well, it just shows how much resilience the human spirit really has, right? Like, having vision loss doesn't mean the end of your life or your ability to do anything. Stories like Ron's mean a lot to the vision loss community because it shows that you can do anything you really want to. It might look a little different, but if you want to be in competitive cycling, if you want to still partake in sport that you partake in before you had vision loss, you can still do that.
No doubt about it. Well, it is a great story and a great message. If people have more information or want more information from you guys, where should they go?
They should go to our website, cnib.ca, and our sister website, deafblindcommunityservices.ca.
Perfect. Well, thanks very much for a couple of minutes, and it was a great morning here as Ron Walsh, the blind adventurer, is off on his next adventure.
As students head back to class, artificial intelligence is becoming another school supply, whether it appears on the official list or not. But many parents may be unsure where helpful support ends and academic dishonesty begins. So Katrina German, Saskatoon-based AI expert and founder of Ethical Digital, joins us with conversation every family should have before the first assignment is due. Katrina, thank you for this. Let's get right into it, okay? What is, I guess, the provincial policy on AI? Where does the province stand on how
we
this
don't
works?
really have a Saskatchewan provincial policy. Most of the school divisions are coming up with their own policies. Some have them, some don't. And really, kind of the commonality between them is they're often offering the teacher the opportunity to make a decision, which makes sense, right? You know, certain subjects are going to be more, probably prone to AI than other subjects. And so each teacher gets a chance. So the Saskatoon School Division, for example, has broken it out to be like AI that supports, AI that helps with research, and really has helped teachers come up with a plan. So the very first thing that any family is going to want to do, any parents talking to their kids, is basically have this plan that you ask your teacher. First day, first couple of days, what exactly is your AI policy, so that you just know.
Okay, that makes sense. I guess some might ask, should AI have a place in the classroom at all?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people asking that question. And it's a lot of debate in that area. For me, it's really that question, is the student learning or is the AI doing it for them? And so that's really the question. And for me, the future of AI, it's going to be a part of all of our lives. And this is such a crucial point in people's developmental stages when they're learning, when they need to be learning their digital literacy and understanding, okay, this is AI, here's the proper use of AI. Hold on, just because it says something with authority, that doesn't mean that it's correct. And, different things like that. So we really need to actually be incorporating this brand new tool that's going to be a part of our lives all going forward, and make sure our young people are learning how to use it properly.
Okay, you mentioned conversations. What conversations should parents be having with their children?
I think that really the most important parts are talking about some of the, the misinformation pieces that can come with AI, talking about the idea of, the importance of going to school is to learn. You're learning how to learn. And so really making sure that even though you're learning perhaps how to use AI, making sure that you're actually doing it. So you're really drawing that line between here's what I'm learning and here's how AI is assisting me. So the very first question, what does your teacher think is okay? Second question on every assignment, how did you use AI in here? Are you willing to defend that? And number 3 is your teacher. Would you feel comfortable going to your teacher and saying, here's how I used AI? And those are the 3 questions that are just going to really help spark those conversations.
So what's the final message here then for as we embark on a new school year?
We are all heading into this brand new history. We're in history. We are the pioneers of this whole AI revolution. So we're all learning together. But the important part is that we understand the advantages that AI can provide, but also the disadvantages. And we're teaching our young people exactly how to do that in the best way possible.
All right, Katrina German, thank you so much for this. Where can we find you?
You can find me at ethicaldigital.ca and katrinagerman.com.
I'm Allison Bamford in Saskatoon. Tonight on CTV National News. Distilling the cross-country barriers for booze.
It has been easier to ship into other countries than it has been to ship into other provinces.
Why Canadian alcohol producers are still struggling to sell at home as U.S. liquor makes a potential comeback to store shelves. Tonight on CTV National News and ctvnews.ca.
Welcome back to the program. It is Friday. It is 8:29. Gas prices set to rise even higher next month. The gas tax break from the federal government is coming to an end at the start of September. As CTV's Amanda Anderson reports, some believe reduced refinery capacity because of global conflicts will also contribute to higher prices here at home.
The break people have had at the pumps over the past few months is coming to an end. The federal excise tax break, introduced in April, is set to expire on September 8th.
Obviously, it helped during the summer driving season, and prices were probably lower than a lot of people expected.
That means an extra 10 cents for gas and 4 cents for diesel. The Canadian Fuel Association says it doesn't mean prices will go up exactly those amounts when it takes effect again, saying a number of factors go into pricing. The former head of the Alberta Petroleum Marketing Commission says global conflicts play a big factor and have led to a shortage of oil supply and refinery capacity.
When refined product prices go up, it translates all over the world, including to our refineries, because we can export refined products. And so we are doing that. The U.S. from the Gulf Coast exports refined products, and that pulls more from Canadian refineries and brings the price up.
The return of the federal gas tax comes around the time industry switches to typically cheaper winter-grade gas, but Richard Masson expects any savings to be short-lived.
The summer-winter switch is probably only a minor contributor for a couple of weeks. I think prices are probably headed up.
Rising prices is why the Canadian Taxpayers Federation set up outside the Alberta legislature today.
We want Alberta Premier Danielle Smith to get the message that Albertans need fuel tax relief at the pumps.
Instead of providing tax relief in July, the province introduced a $100 rebate for Albertans.
They tried something. They tried the rebate, but it's just not catching on, I think, the way they wanted it to. Plus, it costs them more in admin. So they should just go back to the drawing board and give us the 13 cents per litre gone for gas and diesel.
The CTF is also urging the feds to extend its tax suspension. A spokesperson from the Federal Finance Department would only say it's monitoring financial pressures on Canadians, which will guide any decisions it makes in the months ahead. Amanda Anderson, CTV News, Edmonton.
Saskatchewan never did away with that tax, by the way. Farmers are beginning to harvest their crops in parts of the prairies, but damage from heavy rains is causing major losses. Alex Carpa reports.
A wheat field that was heavily damaged.
Normally, John Paul and Tina Lavallee would be looking at a healthy wheat crop on this field. Instead, heavy rains and flooding have turned it into mud.
Complete loss.
Around half of their entire 3,000-acre property is damaged like this. The Lavallees say they'll try to salvage what they can, but fear this could be their worst harvest yet.
From the stuff that was underwater that receded in time for it to maybe produce something, we really don't know the quality of what it's going to be until we're harvesting it.
Too many look like this, yes.
It's much of the same for Curtis McRae, who expects to lose between 1,500 to 2,000 acres of his farmland. He says the conditions have made it the most challenging season yet.
The sooner we get harvest done, the better, because we got to look forward to next year, because this harvest isn't going to, it'll pay the bills, but that's about all it'll do.
But not all is lost. While Manitoba's Interlake region sustained significant damage, other parts of the province were not hit as hard.
Fortunately, I think that the crop that is out there that did push through in a lot of parts of the province, we're optimistic with some of the yield potentials there.
As for the Lavallees, they say some of this damage could have been avoided, blaming years of neglected infrastructure and poor drainage, which they say contributed to this destruction.
We took on more water than we should have, from breaching dikes to culverts with no traps. There's damage here that needed to be fixed previous to this.
With this year's crop for some farmers serving as a loss, the Lavallees are turning their attention to next season, hoping next year's crop will be better than this one. Alex Carper, CTV News, Clandeboye, Manitoba.
Saskatchewan's harvest is off to a slow start thanks to cooler than average weather, humidity, thunderstorms and scattered showers. This is coming from the Ministry of Agriculture. Some areas welcome the moisture. Others had harvest windows cut short by morning humidity. Harvest progress lagging behind the 5-year average, with the Southwest furthest ahead at 9%. Some producers say warmer temperatures are still needed to top off growth. Saskatchewan in the Southwest had the heaviest rainfall last week, some areas topping out at more than 100 millimeters. There's a major milestone for the Elizabeth Fry Society. 11 new housing units will soon be available, aiming to provide stability and support for women released from custody. Stacey Hine reports.
A ribbon cutting celebrating 11 new supportive housing units in Saskatoon for women leaving custody. The Elizabeth Fry Society of Saskatchewan says the units will provide a stable start for women re-entering the community.
Our team works inside correctional institutions to begin planning for release, identifying barriers, connecting women to resources, and asking a very basic but incredibly important question: where is she going when she leaves? Because successful reintegration is extraordinarily difficult when the answer to that question is nowhere.
The one-bedroom units are part of a partnership between the federal and provincial governments and the Elizabeth Fry Society, which will oversee operations and provide case management and support services.
Our top priority of our program is working towards healing that inner child. And we do that by creating individualized healing plans for our women, and most of those healing plans wrapping around family reunification.
The federal government's Reaching Home program contributed more than $400,000 for construction, housing stabilization, and supports. The province contributed more than $1 million to the project, plus about $900,000 over 2 years for reintegration services.
Without a safe place to live, it is difficult to rebuild relationships, maintain employment, access supports, and create healthier, more positive outcomes for themselves and for their families.
Ultimately, I think Elizabeth Fry Society and the proponents want to see many of these folks recover, become independent, and become tax-paying citizens.
The Elizabeth Fry Society says the units are still under renovation and are expected to be complete next month. Stacey Hine, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Riders head coach Corey Mace paid tribute to one of the team's all-time greats yesterday, and when asked about it, delivered his best quote of the season.
Up and just felt like looking sweet, I guess. So shout out to Bobby, I guess. I bought this in the off season, and it was just sitting in the office, and I said, I'm gonna throw it on today. That's about it. We got to get him here, though. I haven't met the guy.
Coach rocked a Bobby Jurison 71 at practice yesterday, says they've never met, so that now needs to happen. Reminder, the Riders face the Lions at 5 o'clock tomorrow on the mighty TSN. A group of thieves at a Saskatchewan park keeping campers on their toes. A pack of foxes taking shoes from campsites. Laura Woodward investigates.
This is believed to be one of the sly suspects.
We have 5 foxes running around the campground stealing shoes.
Stealing so many shoes, Great Blue Heron Provincial Park has set up 2 bins for recovered footwear.
Oh, sneaky fox, stealing so many shoes.
Park manager Sonnet McGuire estimates 70 shoes are in these bins.
Well, they seem to have good taste. They really like Birkenstocks, but honestly, it's just about anything.
The stealing spree came to the park's attention in early July when campers began reporting missing shoes and finding abandoned footwear along trails and roads.
So this is the trail I usually find the shoes on.
Cabin owner Linda McDonald has become part of the unofficial shoe recovery team.
I picked up everything from a baby sandal to a boot. So, yeah, they're not discriminating.
The shoes are generally found in good condition, leading park officials to believe curiosity is fueling the thefts. Campers regularly check the bins and use social media to arrange rides home for their found footwear.
Hey, that's my shoe. Is anyone coming to Saskatoon? Can you bring it? And it's just turned into this, like I said, a big scavenger hunt, and it's connecting people in a different way.
And with the foxy culprits still at large, the park is recommending campers keep their shoes secured. Laura Woodward, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Counting down the days until the Owen sisters are back on screen.
No magic is stronger than sisterhood. Cast by fate, tested by time, and never broken.
My wife and Kayleen both very excited about the second installment of Practical Magic. It's almost here, about 3 weeks away. Sandra Bullock and Nicole Kidman are reprising their roles in the film. Kidman also shared a photo of her black cat on set. Practical Magic 2 is out on September the 11th.
That you've never seen it, Daryl.
I just learned that it's on Crave, the one and only streaming service, the best in the land. Thank you, Bell Overlords. So now I have to go see it.
Yes, but you have to wait till there's a little bit of a crisp in the air, and that's not today.
Okay, so there has to be a vibe.
Yeah, you have to wait for the fall to officially get here. Today, it's a very nice summer day across Saskatchewan. We're going to be seeing all of that sunshine today. 17 degrees to wake us up in Regina. Winds are coming in at 9 kilometers per hour. In Saskatoon, we're still at 13 degrees. Winds are coming in at 7 kilometers per hour. And we're not really going to be seeing those winds going all too much today. If you're waking up with us from the western part of the province, right along that border with Alberta, but if you're waking up with us from the east, you can see that divide, that split right down the center of the province today. All those areas lighting up in blue, could be seeing winds gusting up to about 40 kilometers per hour. Current temperatures now, we're seeing 14 degrees in Stony Rapids, 14 in La Ronge and Prince Albert as well, 15 in Nipawin and Hudson Bay, 13 in Melfort and Spiritwood. In the south, 16 degrees in Swift Current and East End, 17 in Assiniboia, 18 in Weyburn right now, 17 in Estevan, and 16 degrees in Yorkton. So if you're heading out the door right now, it's a very pleasant start to the day. The afternoon is going to be very pleasant as well. Right around that seasonal average in central Saskatchewan. That's 24 degrees in the Battlefords, Prince Albert, Saskatoon and Yorkton today. Just above that, 25 degrees will be the high in Regina, and then farther down south in Weyburn and Estevan, getting even above that seasonal average. So 27 in Estevan, 28 in Weyburn, 28 in Moose Jaw today as well, and 27 in Swift Current. Here's a look at your 7-day forecast. Temperatures are remaining really nice, especially as we reach Sunday. We're expecting a lot of highs around the 30-degree mark on Sunday. However, that is also the day we are expecting to see more of that precipitation. It's going to start down south in the morning. It will taper off a bit in the afternoon, but then in the evening, we see on the radar another system coming in, bringing chance of rain, risk of thunderstorms. And that's not just for the south. That is also for parts of the north and central Saskatchewan as well. Tomorrow, though, 27 degrees with a whole lot of sunshine. If you're expecting to head outside, maybe you're taking in I Love Regina Day, it is going to be an awesome day to do so. 26 on Monday, 24 on Tuesday, 25 on Wednesday, and 28 by Thursday. In Saskatoon, 28 degrees tomorrow, 31 on Sunday. We did just mention, though, early afternoon, mainly sunny. It's in the evening hours that we could see the potential of some thunderstorms moving in. 23 degrees on Monday. We're seeing that continued risk of some thunderstorms that afternoon. 25 on Monday as that active weather clears up. 26 on Wednesday and 27 by Thursday.
Consideration provided by Father's Furniture, specializing in quality Canadian-made furniture.
All right, Sugar Ray, Smash Mouth, Honeymoon Suite, they're all going to be shaking the lake in Regina, and that's where we find Janelle Lippi at the Connexus Arts Center. JL, good morning.
Good morning. We're wrapping things up down at Shake the Lake, but the fun is not over yet. We have made it all the way down to the stage, and Erin Campbell is back with me. Erin, where we're standing right now was full of people on Wednesday. That little teaser as to what people could expect for the weekend. What does that say about, the public love for this event?
This is my first Shake the Lake as well, and I was surprised at the atmosphere, the joy, the great weather, the good vibes. It was a really great time.
Absolutely amazing. I caught some pictures of them and it looked so much fun. And earlier this morning we were talking about what we can expect for today, the official opening day. But what's going on tomorrow?
Tomorrow, much of the same, good vibes, good weather, but we've got 5440, Wide Mouth Mason, the Headpins, and Smash Mouth tomorrow night.
All right, so some great performances lined up then that you won't want to miss. And if you haven't gotten your hands on tickets quite yet, where can they go to find some?
The gates open at 3, so get your tickets at connexusartscenter.ca before then.
All right, so plenty of opportunity to get your hands on those tickets, and lots of hard work has gone into this. You couldn't have done it all yourself. Who are those sponsors and partnerships that helped you guys out so much?
We have some really great corporate sponsors for the event, countless. I can't name them all, but Brandt is our name sponsor. Tourism Saskatchewan, couldn't do it without them, Relco Radio, and Molson Coors. But I also just want to shout out to our staff who did such a phenomenal job coming together and putting up this setup weeks in advance.
Yeah, you can tell by looking at it how much time and love went into it. It's a wonderful job, and you can still get those tickets. You really won't want to miss out on this. Now, Erin, quickly before we wrap up, I'm really curious, who are you most looking forward to seeing?
I'm a Smash Mouth fan, so I'm looking forward to tomorrow night. I just got to make it there.
All right, well, exciting times ahead. Erin, thank you for spending the morning with me.
Thank you.
All right, well, once again, still time to get your hands on some of those tickets. This is an event that, of course, Regina loves. You won't want to miss out on it.
That's right. Gates open at 3 o'clock today and tomorrow. It's an outdoor venue. That means they can fit more people in, right? Tickets at the Connexus Arts Center website or box office.
Well, we're joined by Melissa Mallon today with the Rough Rider and Children's Hospital Foundation's lottery, championed by Mosaic, and today is an important deadline. Can you tell us about it?
Yes, midnight tonight is our bonus deadline. Get your tickets early and you'll be entered in to win a 2026 Cadillac Escalade, along with season tickets to the 2027 Riders season. And along with that, you'll get one night hotel accommodations at Hotel Saskatchewan for every Riders home game.
Oh, that's perfect. And hopefully you get a parking pass too, so you can ride that Escalade right up to the stadium,
Escalade in there, yes. And if that doesn't sound good enough, you can also take our cash prize, which is $130,000.
Oh,
so,
choices.
Yeah.
And somebody, luckily enough, gets to win that. That's obviously the bonus prize itself, but that's not the only prizing. Tell us about some of the other stuff that's up to be won this year.
We have over 1,000 amazing prizes included here with your tickets. So you can win some of our vehicles, like our truck and travel trailer package, vacations to beautiful places like Bora Bora, Australia. And then along with that, you can also become Saskatchewan's next millionaire.
Yeah, no doubt.
Not bad.
Pretty good, right? I mean, absolutely incredible stuff when you think about it. What other opportunities are there for Saskatchewan residents to win?
We have our halftime 50-50, so you can add on to your main ticket with that and get in. Right now, our jackpot is sitting at over $700,000. So not a bad payday there. As well as we have our cash calendar. So for the month of November, we're giving away cash daily.
I love that. That's fantastic. I don't want to think about November yet because the weather is so nice right now. But if you get your ticket now, you get the bonus tickets. You get all of those other entries stacked on top of themselves. It's months of winning. And it really impacts our community here. Obviously, the Saskatchewan Rough Riders and the Jim Pattison Children's Hospital Foundation's teaming up once again for this lottery. Tell us about that partnership.
We have a truly one-of-a-kind, unique partnership between Jim Pattison Children's Hospital Foundation and the Saskatchewan Rough Rider Foundation, championed by our wonderful partners, the Mosaic Company. We truly work as a team across the province to support the whole child through specialized maternal and pediatric health care, through mental wellness, as well as through sports and education.
Yeah, it really is incredible. It works good, obviously. The hospital based in Saskatoon, the football team based in Regina, and, reaching their fingers out to the entire province. It is truly a one-of-a-kind partnership, and this lottery is truly running out of time, at least for this bonus deadline. Get your tickets before midnight tonight at riderschildrenslottery.ca. Appreciate your time.
Thank you so much.
It's Chase from Pure Country Mornings back again to count down to this week's top 5. Now, he got close all the way to number 2 and then started to fall before he could reach that top spot. Morgan Wallen starts us at number 5 with Don't Wait. Owen Rigling entering the countdown to this week. Our number 4 song is Love, Hate, Love. Now up 1 spot from last week, continuing to climb once again after they were dropping out of the countdown. Ella Langley and Morgan Wallen, number 3 with I Can't Love You Anymore. I can't love you anymore. A big jump for Stella Lefty. She went from number 5 all the way to 2 this week with Boston. And no change for our top spots. Number 1 again for the second straight week. It is Taylor Swift. I Knew It, I Knew You.
I knew it, I knew you.
Thanks for counting down this week's top 5 with us. Catch all of these and the rest of your favorites with Pure Country 92.7. You can find us streaming on the iHeartRadio app.
Victory in a land called fantasy is what every fantasy football fan aspires to reach.
But it's not easy. And what happens if you come in last?
Bad things.
Yeah, well, that's where the fun begins. Folks can get quite creative with what they call the last place punishments. Here's ABC's Danny New.
My husband doing a fantasy football punishment.
Why is Chicago's John Lesky here dressed up as Eric Carl's The Very Hungry Caterpillar? Because once again, before the start of the NFL season, fantasy football players are finally serving their punishments for coming in last place last year.
I was actually kind of impressed by the end of it. I'm like, I would have tapped out really fast. Yeah. So
overall, you're proud of your husband.
I was pretty impressed.
There are millions of fantasy football leagues around the world, and the quest to generate the most unique last place punishment has become a bit of an annual internet tradition. In John's case, his league is mostly friends and family, so he made sure to at least FaceTime with his league mates' children, including his nephew.
And they were like, they haven't sat still for that long in like a month.
Playing Michael Brook today. No ball.
Meanwhile, in Canada, Connor Merritt here is in a league with all of his old hockey buddies. And his punishment was to go golfing without a ball and not tell anyone he joined why he didn't have one.
I go put my tee in the ground with no ball on it and swing. And I turn back, I go, that was a good one. And then he looks at me dead serious and goes, how do you know?
There's also a chance you could be locked in a closet and have to do a 1,000-piece baked bean puzzle. Or you might have to be like Ty in South Florida here, who had to compete in a bodybuilding competition.
I had no idea what I was doing. I was just hitting poses that I kind of saw them do.
In the case of Ty and his buddy Tommy, they have been in this league together since high school. And perhaps the best part is Ty was the one who thought of this idea before the start of last season. So in preparation, Ty shaved his body hair, got a spray tan, and over the course of many months, even lost 30 pounds. But why did he go through so much effort?
That's what makes fantasy football.
By the way, Ty says that bodybuilding video has led to 2 things at work. 1, his boss giving him a raise for showing strong character. And 2, his boss making a life-size cutout of Ty to hang in the office. In New York, for ABC News, I'm Danny New.
Saw my embarrassment for a raise.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah. That last one actually had a component of what I said should be a punishment this year, which is you have to get a spray tan.
Yeah, that would be uncomfortable for a minute and a few days afterwards.
Yeah, I mean, I get spray tans every once in a while. Clearly not now, but I haven't seen the sun in a while.
All right, for Casper, we take a break and we go to Sidebar. Producer Nathan's at the controls, which means we've got more robot content for you. Yikes! This is the latest creation of Chinese robotics company Unitree. They say it can jump more than 6.5 feet.
Is it running like that? Why is it running like that?
The company says, you can hear the whole control room laugh from here. Its humanoid robot can reach up to a top speed of 12.66 meters per second. That's faster than Usain Bolt. The company describes the performance as, quote, breaking the limits of humanity, because it's not, it's a robot.
I want to trip it.
Well, yeah, I know.
And just watch it go down and not be able to recover.
I want to be the kid from Big Daddy that's putting spokes in the stick of the spokes and watching it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there you go. There's our daily robot quota.
All right. People are arriving at the Regina International Airport, where they're greeted with a welcome party. This was on Thursday morning. The Good Morning Project welcomed flyers with a DJ, free coffee, a live DJ.
Now, can you imagine you're at the end of an 11-hour flight. You've been waylaid in Calgary for a few hours or Edmonton. You get off the plane and this is what you get.
Someone's spinning a pit bull track.
All I want. All I want is my bag, which is going to be late or maybe lost. and you're going,
Yeah, you're already having a bad day. Oh.
Well, maybe they had a better day because
This would make you smile.
Maybe
though.
they had a better day because
I think this is a really great initiative. You've actually
I've done the video.
morning before. Yeah,
I've done the video. Now we got to get Josh to get you to do one. Saskatchewan's first thermal spa is close to an opening date. This is at Dakota Dunes Thermal Spa. We got a little tour yesterday. Keenan Sorokhan filed a great piece. You can see the full thing on our website. December 4th is what they're looking for. $54 million they spent on this thing.
If they're looking for anyone to test it out, I volunteer.
Yeah, we will gladly come up and we will do the show from your lobby or the pool or the bar. Quick time up. Thank you so much for everybody who joined us today. Also, a special thank you to our own Arden Lloyd, who's going to move over to the newsroom and become a reporter for us with the return of Rita Amodia. Thank you, Arden, for all of your hard work.